What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Second Guessan with Stressan. Sorry about that. I was stressing. My mic was muted, but I caught on pretty quick. So first off, apologize for the delay. Normally on at 9 on Wednesdays. It's 9:30. A little chaos in the household this evening. So got all the kiddos down. We're good to go. But yeah, man, got my H-Town 713 shirt on, Stroud and Kirk. Fresh off a massive win in the Stroud house against Indy. As always, before we get into it, you can follow me on all platforms at Texans Commentator on X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, etc. Twitch. I'm on Twitch as well now if you want to look on there, or it's either at Houston Stressans on Instagram and Facebook. Also, obviously, my website, HoustonStressans.com, where you can get shirts like the one I'm wearing. I got some sitting here too. I got Houston versus everybody. We were breaking stuff. I got all kind of stuff. So go in there, check it out. I got a free newsletter. I'll get back to writing articles. I think I'm going to write one tomorrow and get those sent out to you guys. So, but and then if you want to re-listen to this, if you miss anything, you can do that on Spotify or Apple. It's Second Guessan with Stressan. Or on YouTube, you can go to the live tab, and I usually put it up on my X for a little while too. So shout out the folks over on IG. Let's see who we got. We got Dr. Do, my guy. He says, "What's up, man?" Who else we got on IG? We got Mellow Man. Houston, Texas says, "Great work. I appreciate it." My guy Dot on X. If you're going to the game, live stream Sunday night like you did. If you're not going to the game, live stream Sunday night like you did. Seattle, whole world be watching that game. Oh, man, that's a good idea. I didn't think about that. So there is a small chance I might go last second to the game in Kansas City. More than likely not going to happen. But, it's going to be cold as hell. I mean, that's good and bad. It'd be cool if you go and you win. But I've been to cold games like the divisional round playoff game against the Ravens last year, and it was freezing. And we got beat. So it was just like, what did we just do that for? So, but I like that. I like that right there. Conservative Texan NBA on IG says GN ESPN video today. Kurt Warner says CJ is the key. Kurt was really impressed with this game last Saturday. He thought he played extremely well. Yeah, I've been posting all kinds of clips. And that's the one I was like about to do now before the show is the one about Kurt Warner. So I'll find that. I believe that was on the Rich Eisen show. So Conservative Texan NBA says bless. Facts for blessing. So yeah, I mean, we'll just dive into it. I had a last second trip. My parents invited me. I got to go to the game in Indy, to the Stroud house, and it was dope, man. I mean, you hear all this talk on like the Pat McAfee show or just in general about how it's called the Loud House. And then CJ Stroud before this game was 2-0 and it got renamed the Stroud House. But you assume like that initial nickname, the Loud House, would mean that it is a loud environment. And I haven't been to any other obviously my first time to go there, but like I will have to say that the game there was not loud at all. And it was kind of funny for me because obviously I would go to like almost all Texans games and I really don't have much barometer, but like I've been to like Baltimore and NRG is louder than there. I've been to Foxborough years ago and I felt like it was louder than there just the way it's designed. I'm trying to think where else. I've been to Jerry World, obviously. I feel like I've been to Mile High Stadium. It's kind of loud, but like I don't think I've been to another opposing stadium louder. And then when I went to the Colts game, it was so quiet there. Like the crowd, like they were cool as hell as far as like being chill and cool with Texans fans. But like if that was like the Houston crowd, I would have been mad. Everyone just kind of sits there like this and like nothing, dude, like nothing at all. And like I get that the game script was kind of this and that, but like it was a close game the whole game, and there were big moments on third downs, and like they would cheer and it'd get loud, but like it was nothing, dude. Like, and so I've learned to grow and appreciate and respect the crowd in NRG, and even just listening to content, leading up to this, and just listening to opposing teams' interviews to get insight. Like, the Bills talked about how loud NRG is all the time. the Colts fans, like players and ex-players, they all kept saying how loud NRG is. Pat McAfee has said the same thing quite a bit. So, I came to the realization that like NRG is pretty freaking loud, dude. And like the Colts fans were cool and chill, like as far as respectable, but like as far as cheering for their own team, they were kind of lame. And I don't know if that's just how they always are, game script or what it was, but and we were cheering louder than they were. We like have a big play with the sack or a big pass, we'd stand up and cheer, and they would just kind of sit there. I'm like, all right, this is crazy. But anyhow, but mad respect to their fans. It's a good fan base. They were very respectable. But yeah, I mean, going into it, let me get a couple more comments on IG. Shout out you guys tuning in. Squilly Willy 15 says we bless him for real. Just a heads up, if you're on IG, I see there's like about 10 of y'all currently in there. If I don't get to a comment, you kind of get disengaged. I know Instagram is not good either because you have to like watch it. If you get on X or YouTube, you can like do the picture-in-picture and just go to another app and just kind of keep it on the background. So, and then Anish or Caden Helfner says, is Woody going to be good for Chiefs game? Yeah, he is. So today there was Woody, Will, and I think Kamari maybe, who were, didn't practice today or were on the injury report. D'Amico said they should all be fine. We'll see how the week goes. Like you can tell he kind of like wanted to squash it. Like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't squash it. But my guess with those players is, having listened to the D'Amico Ryans interview with Mark Vandermeer and John Harris from Monday this week, they asked him a question about how practice is now later in the year. And he did say we do tone it back. It's less physical. And he's like, by now guys know how to tackle, yada, yada, yada. So what we're seeing with guys like that, my hunch is that it's just, as the season goes on and we're getting towards the end, it's just keeping guys fresh for this prime run because we're right in a good spot and you want to stay as healthy as you can. So that's my analysis or thoughts on that. Anish Mago says, how you feeling about this Chiefs game? Can we get over the hump? We'll dive into it, but I mean, initial thoughts is it's a definitely winnable game. I mean, just looking at it now, like surface level, them potentially missing 3 of their starting linemen, obviously for sure. Simons, I always miss it up. Josh Simmons. We'll go with Simmons. Josh Simmons, he's basically on IR, I think, so he's out for the game. And their other right tackle, I'm kind of drawing a blank right now. Jawan Taylor, I believe. Potentially out, and then I believe they Tyler Smith, is it? Their Pro Bowl guard has missed 2 games, potentially a 3rd game. So just going off that and just going off of, we all watched Thursday, Thanksgiving, the Dallas Cowboys, who their defense has improved, but it's not anything like our defensive line, had a field day. Like Clowney, my guy, that's my boy. Me and Clowney are friends. He had a hell of a game against them, and he hadn't really been doing much lately. So shout out Jadavion, but I mean, he had 2 sacks in that game. So I mean, if Clowney and the Dallas Cowboys are tearing that, obviously it was indoors, but like, and then you look at what we did against Josh Allen. So we'll get to it, but I think we have a shot, and it feels like the Bills game, like we should win it, just based off of injuries and all that stuff. So. And then Jeremy Slavin 5 says, been to 6 games this year, including Rams opener. We got a hell of a home field advantage. Facts. We need to start promoting that too, because I feel like people don't know that. And so that can give us pride to even make it even more of a home field. D. Gomez says, should we be concerned about the injury report? Yeah, so I just addressed that. Caden Helfler says, is Woody going to be good? That's, same question. So we're good. Jeremy Slavin says, how loud was it though? It was not loud at all, bro. Like it was weak as hell. Like it got loud when, the penalty and the extra point that was made happened and they booed for like 5 minutes straight, but it was like still like that was the loudest that it was, and that was still like weak. I'm not even being like a hater. Like I've been, talking, I'll get into it too. So here, let me finish these comments and I'll kind of get into like the Colts fans being like one of the softest fan bases I ever met, dude. Like the Seahawks fan base was pretty damn toxic online. But the Colts are definitely the most toxic, soft, annoying fan base I've dealt with this year. And I interact with thousands of people. And so Gomez says he's going to the Cardinals game in 2 weeks. Hopefully it's packed, but I'm not sure. The noon games, that should be. And back over to the main chat over here. Let's see. Cool guy. Appreciate it. HTX BG what this live. He says didn't look like too many Texans. Nah, not a lot of Texans fans, man. So I will say, Stroud is right. Indy is a weak ass city. I know he didn't say that directly when that thing went viral his rookie year, but we got a last second flight. Like my parents literally were talking to me like Saturday at 1. And they're like, hey, you want to go? Like, we'll go at 5. And I thought they were saying 5 a.m. the next day. I'm like, all right, cool, we're going. Like, it's at 5 p.m. today. I'm like, oh, crap. Like, bro, I got to get some stuff done. So literally did it right then and there. Went up there, got in town, got a hotel just last second. Hotel was 3 blocks from the stadium. Like, you just walk out the hotel door right into the stadium. And then our seats were pretty affordable. The hotel was super affordable. The seats were affordable. The flight was expensive, but we had points. And the seats were like second level, but it was club. So like their club was like lower, and then the suites were like right above it. And you kind of like walk in the same level 1 concourse, and then you just walk indoors, and it's kind of cool in that sense. But like we literally just walked straight from the hotel, straight in the stadium. Like I just walked on a straight line for not even half a mile, just straight into my seat. Like it was a cool like deal. It was perfect. And whatchamacallit, Andrew was there, someone on Twitter that we interact with. So, and he was sitting like right next to me. So we watched the game together. It was pretty dope. And let's see here. Ben says, I was kind of wondering if energy pumps in noise. It was loud as hell at the end of the Jags game, but not that many people. I don't think they do. That was because I think it was loud in the Jags game because it was empty and it was people that were like into it and it was kind of reverberating, and they pumped in noise and they know it and they pump it in. Obviously you can't do it during the play, but like, it's like weak as hell. And then all of a sudden you hear like loud noise from the speaker, not even like crowd noise, just like music or whatever it is. And you can tell like they're aided by that personally, themselves. And then let's see. HDAV Traveler, Evening Stresson's Friends. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming in. Shout out Brandon says, question for some point in the show. Would we be able to keep this same O-line into next year? I mean, it's kind of early for me to address that, but it kind of depends on how it finishes, but I haven't even looked at free agents or, I'm sure we'll probably need to draft somebody, but depends too, like guys like Ed Ingram, what he's going to be demanding. Trent Brown, we're getting a lot out of him too, but how sustainable is that? So kind of early for me to say, but I mean, right now I like the combination they have. Brandon says if Chiefs lose, their record will be 6-7 and the internet will destroy them with the 6-7 memes all week. That's hilarious. And in the life of Colby, it was loud when they was telling the ref he sucks. Yeah, and even then it wasn't that loud, bro. Like, it wasn't that loud. And then Dot says, should we spy Mahomes? He's been running more than ever he has in his career this season. I mean, yeah, we'll get into it, but like I haven't really dove into it myself. But my surface level initial thought was game plan it the same way you did the Bills for the most part. And that was Josh Allen. And we ran a lot of man with the spy with the Z's. And Josh Allen was fooled. The only thing is I think that the Chiefs have more weapons and better scheming for getting guys open with man. So that's kind of the give and take. But I would say that. And then, they were very disciplined in their rush lanes as a defensive line. They were very coordinated. And if they did do stunts, they made sure to cover each gap. So, I mean, you basically had this game plan and mindset and approach on a short week against Josh Allen, MVP, best offense, and shut that shit down, 8 sacks. You could see a similar type of result. And Mahomes will try to push the ball down the field. So this could be another high volume sack game for the defense. So JJ Sugar says we beat the Chiefs. We got to go to the Super Bowl. I don't care. Yeah, if we beat the Chiefs, bro, like we're already starting to get the hype from the media. It's about to go through the roof. Like we've been the dark horse now ever since the Bills win. But then now that we beat the Colts, like the hype is like, and you know what, man? Like I've been optimistic the whole time, bro. Like I am not surprised by what's going on. Like y'all hear me come on this show and say we have a Super Bowl caliber defense. I've been saying it since last year, and this defense is even better than that. I've been saying all year to you guys, I think this defense has a chance to be historically great. And what do we see? Like they are being historically great. And as good as they are, they could be even better if one, special teams did not suck ass and give up so many touchdowns and bad field position and fumbling kicks and giving up kick returns and punt returns. And then also the offense, they've been finding their way early on, and they constantly put our defense in, bad spots on a lot of games with turnovers or 3-and-outs or whatever it may have been. Or even there were some games early where, time of possession, like defense on the field the whole time. So, but, offense, and that's why I've never lost faith, like 0-3, 3-5. Like, yes, you just look at it on paper like, oh, statistics says 0-3, oh, 3-5, your percent chances. Like, screw all that shit, bro. Like, go off of what the fuck you're watching on TV. Like, I watched an 0-3 team lose to the Rams, who are one of the best teams in the league. And I said it right then and there, like, this is a Super Bowl caliber team, the Rams. Like, you watched last year, the Eagles were better than everybody by a mile, and they almost lost to the Rams at home in a blizzard in the final seconds, and that team got better and added Devontae Adams. Yes, that's a good freaking team. And we lost by 3 points on a fumble in the last seconds. Like, very easily could have won that game. I'm not going to burn the house down. Next game, Buccaneers. Pretty damn good team. They're not maybe elite contender, but like when they also haven't been healthy, but when they're healthy, they're a damn good team. At the very least, they're a solid playoff team. Game you should have won. Like, again, offense still struggled, and you still should have won. 4th and 10 tackle by Henry To'o missed. So, like, okay, we're 0-2. It sucks, but I'm still considering what has happened and how you lost. Whereas you have teams that are 0-2, 0-3, and they're getting beat by 20, 30 points. Okay, yes, then you suck. And then the Jaguars game, it was just, we thought the Jaguars were ass because they kind of have been, but guess what? The Jaguars aren't really that bad. They're a pretty good team. They're slightly above average, in my opinion. I think their record and their position is better than what they are, but they're not a bad team. So that game too, Nico fumbled, inside the red zone to take the lead in the fourth quarter, and then the tip pass by Stroud for a pick at the end, and where he got hit, So like we were 0-3, like, okay, yes, we're 0-3, but you look at the games and how we just lost and who we just lost to. And the other part that I've been preaching, I come on here every week and say this, like, it drives me crazy how halfway into the season, or not even halfway into the season, we all want to declare who's who. Like, oh, the Colts were being dubbed as the best offense in the past decade. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, without even looking at any fucking context. Like, oh, look at these points and these stats and these numbers. Daniel Jones, MVP. What the like, come on, dude. Like, it's just lazy shit. Like, you got to dig into it and have perspective. Like, it just drives me crazy. Like, I get it. Like, you can only go off what you have, but like, you have to remember, like, the big thing with all this is we go into a season thinking we all know who's who. Guess what? We don't fucking know that. The NFL is such a good league. There's so much parity. Teams change each year. Coaches, play callers, draft, free agency. Like, just because, teams were certain teams last year, it depends on the makeup of the team too. But more often than not, like, there'll be a handful of shifting, of changing of the guards. So, we assume that our schedule, people will like, and that's the thing that drives me the most crazy is our own fans and other fans. Like, every loss we have gets overblown to hell. Those 3 losses I just laid out, all close losses. Like, oh, it's the worst loss ever. Got our ass kicked. All those teams suck. Yada, yada, yada. No, they were close and shoulda, coulda won. And they were all good teams. And then every time we win, oh, well, we beat this team because they're hurt and that guy sucks. Oh, you beat that team. They suck. You beat this team. They're hurt. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, why can't we enjoy our team? Like, it drives me fucking crazy. Like, what are we doing? And so that was what a lot of people were doing. And so, and even the national media mostly, like, oh, they beat the Ravens. They were injured. They beat the Titans. They suck. You beat the Niners. They were injured. Well, guess what? The Niners were and still are a good team, injured or not. They played well while injured. The Ravens are actually probably playing worse with Lamar Jackson back. They're not much better. They just fucking suck overall, and we beat the shit out of them. So it's like, when are we going to give our team credit? Like, why do you have to wait? I get it's hard when it looks bad, but like, if you sit down and look at it and you trust your eyes on what you see, then you don't have to be so doomsday on everything. So, but yeah, so I started with the initial point is, we go into a season with like the preseason strength of schedule, and then the postseason strength of schedule when it's actually played out is way different. So we may have thought that our 0-3, 3-5 was terrible and lost to some bad teams or whatever it may have been, or our wins that we had were terrible. Guess what? Those wins are pretty damn good. And so there's that part of it. And then like our opponents, like, oh, we got to play the Colts. Like they're 8-2 and blah, blah, blah. Oh, they're this team, that team. Look at their fucking schedule, dude. It was the most cakewalk schedule ever. It was the easiest fucking schedule ever. But you can't talk about that. Like when you had time to go through and look back at, okay, like they beat, the Raiders, the Dolphins, the Cardinals, like all these bullshit teams that we're getting, we play a team like that. Like it doesn't count. If they beat a team like that, like, oh, they're the best team ever. Like, what are we doing? And so I am not surprised. And I will say too, our other two losses were also one-score games. The Seahawks, obviously we thought the Seahawks, we knew they were good, but like we didn't realize how fucking good they are. Like that was actually not nearly as bad of a loss as we think. We went on the road. CJ Stroud played the worst game of his career in a very hostile environment in Seattle, and still had a one-score game with the chance to win it or tie it late. And we shot ourselves in the foot repeatedly. And our defense shut down that offense. They want to talk about all these points they scored. Like Sam Darnold had 3 picks or whatever it was. All their fields were off of short fields from turnovers from our offense. So like our defense dominating that game too. So and then our fifth loss, I'm blanking on the fifth loss right now. Denver. I mean, come on, dude. Denver, the best team in the league. CJ Stroud gets hurt and he was dealing, and we were primed to win that game. But hey, a loss is a loss. We lost, but like just because, like, if you looked at the Denver game, that's when I made a specific tweet because we were 3-5, and I was seeing a bunch of we need to sell, we need to trade this guy, trade that guy. Like, why? Like, you're 2 games below 500. You're not completely out of the playoff race. You have teams that are way above you, but you have to remember, like, who have they played? And it's like we all assume because halfway through the season, if this team's 8-2, that's going to continue. Look at the Colts now. They've lost 3 of 4. They started playing harder teams. Go fucking figure. And so, like, I'm so glad, obviously, they don't listen to that stuff because, like, trading Danielle Hunter, absolutely dumb. That would have been the dumbest thing you can do. That guy is a beast. He has single-handedly won us a couple games. So, anyways, that's kind of my rant there. I guess getting a little bit frustrations. And I don't mean to project or attack anybody for that. That's just an overall deal. And I do get the pessimism and not, fully buying in, but like, it's just a reminder, like, maybe just dig a little deeper next time rather than just be like, oh, 0-3, 3-5 sucks, season done. Like, context matters is what I'm getting at. So, but yeah, so that being said, like, going into the Colts game, and I said this all year, I'm like, oh, that I haven't down talked them. I said, they're a good team. I'm not going to call them the best team ever and them being invincible and impossible to beat. But I'm going to look at their games and be like, okay, they beat that team. They beat this team. Like, okay, like, there's a good chance they're not what we think they are. They're probably more in the middle. And it was obvious too, like the Colts, Daniel Jones is playing really well in that system and Shane Steichen is maximizing him, but it doesn't take much thought process or digging into these games to realize, hey, why is he so good? Because they have the best running back in the league and a really good run blocking O-line. And he's running for, if he runs for less than 100 yards, it's like a terrible day. And so, yeah, you're never in 3rd and long. You're always in 2nd and 2 or 3rd and 1 or, 2nd and 3rd and shorts all day. So, yeah, as a play caller, you now have the, ability to run play action and get the defense on their toes. So that was a massive part of it. And so I had said, like, if you can just, slow down their run, like, yes, the passing for them has been great, but it's based off of the run, like, because of those short downs and because of play action. It's not because not because Daniel Jones is some elite quarterback, not because Michael Pittman is some stud. And, I do think they have an underrated receiving core, Alec Pierce and Josh Downs specifically, but they're still not like world beaters. Tyler Warren, stud, yes, but like, a lot of that's all schemed up screens and like gimmicks and shit. It's not like a cerebral Daniel Jones just sitting back dicing people up. Like, it's, hey, drop back first read, boom, drop back first read, boom. Like, it's based off of, the game flow. So And if you look back at like any game they played where they lost or were close to losing, Denver, Rams, and then the most recent one they lost was Kansas City. Those were the three hardest run defenses they played. Go figure. Oh, wow. They play a tough run defense. It's now tough for them to win. And so going into the game, I wasn't sitting here talking crap like we're going to beat their ass. I was like, we have a legit chance to win because of that aspect alone. Like, we will be the toughest run defense they will play, and they will now be one-dimensional. And, like, that was our game plan. And then you throw in the fact that Daniel Jones had a fractured fibula, I'm sorry. And so now he's less mobile, and he can't really, escape the pocket and use his legs himself quite as much. And so now they became one-dimensional. Shut down the run, force Daniel Jones to beat you. Hats off to Daniel Jones. He played pretty well, but they needed a lot more out of him. Like, he made a couple big plays, but like, they were terrible on third down, and we blitzed him more because of his injury, D'Amico Ryans said, and the stats and numbers show, and it messed him up. And so you can also sit here and be like, oh, well, we didn't get any sacks or blah, blah, blah. Like, to hell with that, dude. Like, we got pressure on him, and yeah, we didn't get a sack, but he was just throwing the ball away, freaking out. And so that is just as effective. That's like a 0-yard sack. So let me get some more comments, and I'll get back on that in a second. Over here on IG, appreciate y'all tuning in. Let's see who we got. Sorry for cussing. I've been trying to do better at it, but got a little hype there. So let's see if we missed any here. Gomez says he doesn't like the hype. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. Like, finally getting hype, and I'm gonna post it all regardless. Doesn't mean I agree or disagree, but Colin Matson, the O-line, has finally picked up, and they've been doing good for a while, dude. I've been on that too. Like, the O-line has not been nearly as bad as what people think. The public thinks pretty much the whole season. Like, yes, they've gotten better, but like the talk has been like they've automatically assumed that our O-line last year was the same O-line this year with the new OC, new O-line coach, new personnel. Like, no, like, it's been better and it's getting better and better each week. And shout out Cole Popovich. He is the architect behind it, and Kaylee in his schemes. But we all said, and I said on here a million times, like, the one thing we need to do is on the offensive line, among anything else, is just fix the stuff that we can control. And that's the mental shit. That's the blitz pickup. That's the stunts. Like, be in the right place. We can live with, if you get all that solidified, get lined up, cut the pre-snap penalties, which are still some here and there, but like, it's much better. We can live with you getting beat physically on a play. That's fine. You have a handful of those a game. It's the NFL, bro. Like, but you have to solidify all the mental stuff first. And that's what's happened with Cole Popovich. So, and now all of a sudden the O-line looks great. And then a big part of it too is Kaylee's scheme. Like, CJ Stroud, this is the control aspect. He's now setting the protection, even Davis Mills. And then now we actually have hot routes where guys can, oh my God, blitzing. Okay, I'm going to turn around. It's just a better operation with better answers. And a big thing too is you could see it in training camp just from watching it and then listening to mic'd ups and stuff, like concerted effort to get the ball out quick. Stroud and Mills both getting the ball out quick, and that negates pressure, and that's what teams are doing to us. That's why we're not always getting sacks. But that's a big part of it too. Dat TX Guru, do you think Pierce now at KC might give him an inside edge about our playbook on both sides of the ball? I mean, not really. I mean, he could tell him some stuff, but like, I've also seen that Kaylee's been evolving, so I'm not too concerned. He's, pulling out new tricks each week. Zach Lewis, we were 2 unlucky fumbles away and 4th and 10 from 10-2. I mean, how crazy is that, bro? Like, you just got to remember, like, we're a damn good team. 5.4 Roke, bro never misses a fact. Appreciate that, bro. That Guru, I still think that was the main reason the Chiefs picked him off waivers. Yeah, I mean, they did need a running back, but shout out Live Like You're Dying 34, my boy. What's good? Roku says, stupid close with Denver. Facts. Gomez, are we stressed about the cold in KC? A little bit. We got experience there. And then Jose Ross says, greetings from the group Somos Texans Mexico. I appreciate that. That's dope. Yeah, and so back to the main comments. Let's see what we got working over here. We got JJ Sugar says, we got that one on Facebook. Shout out my Facebook fan, Jason Fortenberry. Anything Philly is the worst. I agree. And then in the life of Colby, Colts fans act like Cowboys fans, bro. Facts. I mean, they're worse. HT Traveler, Colts fans got spoiled with Manning and Luck at QB. That is big facts. JJ Sugar, weak ass city. Nico was telling that crowd to be quiet when he scored. HT Traveler, last minute flights are always expensive, but unfortunately, yeah, I mean, it worked out. Jason, the Colts used to pump in sound. They got in trouble for that a few years ago. Yeah, go figure, huh? Texans swarm. Do you think the Texans can run the table and keep winning? 9 more wins. Can we get 9 more wins this season? Yeah, man, I think we have a chance, at least on our regular season schedule, to win every game. And this will be our toughest game left. I'm not saying we will, but like with our defense, we have a chance to win every game. Ben, Texans tweeted the Pro Bowl votes. The whole damn line was on there. LMAO. We really made it. That's dope. Brandon, I think the Chiefs have to adjust all their O-line being out. Yep. And then you now look at D'Amico Ryans finally let Will Anderson Jr. line up on the inside. And so you think about that. Like now, if they have weaknesses wherever, and if Will starts to get this J.J. Watt treatment, like at some point we're like, hey, you line up wherever the hell you want, and we'll adjust accordingly. You pick out your matchup. Like that's some scary stuff, dude. Brandon, because not only are 3 of them gone, but Tooney is no longer on the team. Yeah, they got rid of all their linemen to the Bears. Texans Storm, if you make the Super Bowl, will you make the trip? I hope we get to host an AFC Championship at NRG. Yeah, I'll find a way, dude. It'll be expensive, but I will definitely go to that bitch. MFG, D'Amico, please, no weird calls. Take the points and no double QB sneaks. I love the Stover Cat. We'll get to that. JJ Sugar, well, I say we got the bowl if we win because that environment, let's be real, Mahomes and the Chiefs with their backs against the wall. Yeah, so I put up a poll before the Cowboys-Chiefs game on Thanksgiving. I said, which team are you rooting for? And a lot of people are like, oh, well, duh, of course you're rooting for the Cowboys. Like, yeah, statistic-wise, you get the Chiefs down, but, like, I wasn't really worried about them in the wild card regardless. Like, I think they're really good. I was just trying to shed light on the fact that there is an element to the Chiefs losing that game. Now they're coming off of like a mini bye, and they're going to be at home against us with their season pretty much on the damn line. They can still lose to us, and I think they can still win out and get in with 10 wins, but their season is pretty much on the line. This is for the first time, like since 2012 or 2014, whatever it is, like chance for them not to make the playoffs. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, and so, you know, I know people will say, or players will say, you know, you aren't going to try any less or more harder depending on circumstances. I don't agree with that. I think it's like a subconscious thing. Like if you know it's your last, you're going to like, cause you don't want to say like, oh, cause then that means you don't always give your most. That's not really true, but like, it's a subconscious thing, dude. Like if you know, this is like your last stop and you're the Texans and you can kind of afford to lose, you don't intentionally do it, but like they can go that 1 to 2% harder. And the coaches, they now can game plan like we have to win this game. Whereas if you're the Texans, we don't have to win this game, and you're not going to go in there like thinking that, but like you're also not going to just draw up all these crazy plays and empty the freaking clip, you know, and run all these different plays. Whereas the Chiefs are like, we're going to do all kind of shit. And so that is an element to it. So, I mean, but it's also a big opportunity for the Texans to really establish themselves. That being said, it's going to be a tough game. We can win. I'm not going to say we will win. If we do lose, it's not the end of the season. We're not out of the playoffs. And so I think it's a good close game. But JJ says basically a road playoff game, which is our weakness in the playoffs. Yeah, but it's a different team too, though. Jason says all but one team we have played this season would be in the playoffs if it was today. Tough schedule. Yep. Yeah, that's true. And then HD salary cap and players want to get paid. I think y'all are talking about how the season changes each year. JJ Sugar, people are saying we got wins against injured teams is comical, seeing how we don't have Mixon, Dell, etc. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, it's like we make these excuses for them, but not for us. Like, what are we doing? A win is a win, bro. Wow, Spartacus, there's not a single AFC team to be scared of. I agree. Ben, if you're going to lose 3 in a row, it's best to lose the first 3, I suppose. Yep. It's better to start slow and finish fast than to start fast and finish slow. And then All Good says, what's crazy is when fans predict 10-7 record before the season and complain about every loss like the season's over. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, I get it. But every year I forget, like after the long off season, you get all pumped up. And then the season starts and like first play, first quarter, the first game, sky's fucking falling. And you're like, ah, shit. I forget people just live in the moment. Like even the fucking Colts game, bro. Like I saw so many fucking tweets about put Mills in. CJ sucks. You get him out of there. He's fucking moping. He's crying. Like, what the fuck are we doing, man? Like, chill the fuck out, bro. Like, we're not even a quarter into his first game back on the road against Indy. And we can't wait to say start Davis Mills. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, please stop. Like, I get it's prisoners of the moment, but like, chill the fuck out. Like, that shit drove me crazy. And CJ played a fucking hell of a game. He had one bad mistake on the pick, and then he had, the kind of mental lapse where he threw the ball past the line of scrimmage. I mean, other than that, he was pretty rock solid and made some really good fucking throws, was elite on third down, killed the fucking blitz. He was the same fucking guy that I saw, which I've been saying on here, like against the Niners, they blitzed the shit out of him. He fucking shredded them. He shredded them against the blitz. And then against Denver, they did the same shit, shredded them against the blitz for one quarter, and he got hurt. And then when Mills comes in, I'll pull up the stats. I'll write an article tomorrow. Like I went through like the last 3 games for Stroud from the Colts, Broncos, Niners on him against the blitz. Fucking lights out. Like every game, 80+% completion percentage. Like that is insane. And then Mills was like 50. He had one like 70 and like 60. Like that tells you right there, dude. I mean, so anyhow, going along here, let's see. Golden Scholar, we have to beat the Chiefs. We just have to. Yeah, man. I hope we do. JJ says, yep, Colts are the exact reason why I'm not fully buying into the Patriots either. Like May, like he's yet to face. Yeah, I mean, I think they're good, but I'm not crowning them Super Bowl favorites. I mean, this is a young team. Like they were just like what 2, 3, 4 win team last year. Like, come on, dude. Like they have no experience in those big games. Like they're good. I'm a huge Drake May believer. He's always has been and will be the best quarterback in that class, in my opinion. But matchups matter, like who you play, how you match up against certain teams. Let's see. Yep, I agree. And then Sugar, dude, all the fire D'Amico talks irritated me, probably more so than Peeps trying to bench CJ. D'Amico's a great coach. Yeah, dude, and that shit's fucking dumb too. Like, come the fuck on. And like, and none of them get held accountable. Like, you just say wild shit and like, oh yeah, D'Amico's the best. Like, no, bro, like you're just over here. But then, like, as soon as like anything goes back, yeah, I fire him. Like, dude, like, why? Why are we doing this? Like, D'Amico is a really, really good fucking coach. We are very lucky to have him. CJ Stroud is a really, really good fucking quarterback. We are lucky to have him. As long as we have those two guys, we are fine. But I am also getting kind of concerned with Stroud. Like, I don't know if it'll ever happen, but like, this the media, national media, local fans, media, like, we got to back the fuck off of him, bro. Like, every little fucking thing he does becomes some stupid ass drama. Like, how is this guy so polarizing? Like, the guy can't even make a face and he gets, oh, look at him fucking pout. He's a baby. Like, what are we doing, bro? He wears a hat. Oh, he's wearing a fucking Mariners hat. What an idiot. Like, he has no fucking clue. He just wears shit because it looks cool. Like, every fucking thing he does from a guy who's such like the best guy in the world gets beat to fucking death for no fucking reason. And like, and this shit gets back to him. Like, I'm sure he does not on the internet, but like it finds a way to him. So, I mean, that like, I wouldn't be surprised, man, if it comes up to contract extensions and he's like, I'm fucking out. You know, like I'm done dealing with this shit. I mean, I don't think it will be. Like, he seems super mature. You hear him talk, you know, even after all that, like he'll be like, oh, I get it, you know, da, da, da. Like, you know, it definitely probably, who wouldn't that affect? But, you know, and a big thing too is like D'Amico, he's always been high on CJ because, and I'm not saying all this to say you can't criticize him for his play. That's fine. I'm just saying like all the other bullshit. And again, this is my opinion. I don't mean to be attacking people here. I guess I am kind of like showing frustrations about, you know, people shitting on the team and like it's like I'm victory lapping and things could go awry still. But I'm not trying to like really personally attack anybody, just kind of my general thoughts and feelings now that it's like, okay, look, this team's good. Yeah, this is what I said. We could be a good team. But I forgot I was going on the Stroud point, but oh yeah, so D'Amico talked about a lot, like the reason, a big part of being a good quarterback in the NFL is right here. Like, obviously reading the defense, but like all the other bullshit, like that is huge. Like his faith, whether you're religious or not, helps him a lot, in my opinion, to like block all that crap out. So, but at Ohio State, he basically went through this already at Ohio State. Like they ripped him to shreds at Ohio State. And then he like ignored it, fought through it, balled out. Now he's like beloved, or then became beloved. And and so D'Amico talks about that, like that mental fortitude. And he even said it like in his first year, like when he's getting praise, he already knew like, okay, I'm getting praised, but I'm not going to buy into the hype, even though he had like, his media tour or whatever. But he says like, 1 second they'll love you, the next they'll hate you. So like he knows not to get too high, not to get too low. So, and then when things are bad and he's getting ripped to shreds and he goes on, media and he's like, I'm always been confident. I'm good. Like, oh, what an idiot. You're not confident. He's lying. Like he says the same shit all the fucking time. Like whether he's doing well and getting praise, like, yeah, it's good. But, like I'm not getting too high, or it's bad. Like, that's bad, but I'm still here. Like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Miko is a DC, not a head coach. I disagree. I mean, I think he's a really good coach. He built this team on his own. I mean, I know Caserio does a lot of moves, but like the defensive players, he is getting those players. Like they all fit his scheme and his style and his personality. He has built this defense. It is getting better year over year over year. And as long as he is here, we will always have a top 5 defense. Like there's no reason to think that this defense won't always be this good. Like this is legit, dude. Like we will be a sustained good team for a long time because of D'Amico Ryans and his defense. And you just need a decent offense. And now if we get a good offense, like look out, bro. So, but like that being said, you can criticize him, and I do myself. He he has some blunders. He's hopefully still growing. He's still in his 2.5 years, so he's still learning on the fly. Like there's a lot of stuff about being a head coach. You're now a manager of people. You have to hire better. You have to learn how to delegate. You got to know when to step in. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes to it. And like, it's easy for me to sit here on the couch and be like, oh, dude, call a fucking timeout. It's like, okay, you're in the moment, etc. But regardless, like there's room for improvement. You can still criticize him, but I think, and he's like the most biggest thing about him, the intangible is he's a fucking leader. Like everyone on that team respects the hell out of him, and he does it the right way. He's not like, he's not like, the old man coach just yelling at you and ripping your ass for every play. He doesn't have to, because you respect him, and he's a player's coach, former player, can relate. But yeah, I mean, he gets the most out of these guys, and that's definitely underrated. But obviously we'll go through the box score in the Colts game and I'll kind of dive into all that. But yeah, so let's see. Yeah, so a lot of comments on D'Amico. I probably won't get to all of them on there, but I think I will skip forward. Yep. So Arlasky showed a graphic on the pressure. I'm kind of scrolling through some of these here. Big credit to Cole Popovich. Let's see. D-Dog, we can go 11-6 and still make it around the playoffs. I agree. Dyson T. Fam, CJ did all right, but he overthrows a lot, not as accurate as his first 2 seasons. I mean, the only overthrow that I saw, I haven't dove into the film yet, was the interception, which was also kind of not a great decision personally for me, in my opinion. And then he says he gets happy feet and even ran out of clean pocket last week. I mean, I think the problem for me is JJ Watt and the commentary, like over criticizing. And it's like people hear that and like, oh, yeah, he did that. Like he said that he ran out of clean pocket in the red zone, and like, I felt like it was overcritical. And like, so there was in the red zone on the first drive, it's like JJ's a broadcaster and he wanted to use this nugget that he had from Stroud, where Stroud told him, playing against our own good defense all the time got me to where I found myself leaving the pocket too soon. So it's like JJ wanted to use this nugget, and as soon as he saw an opportunity, like, yep, he left the pocket too soon. He said it's because of the defense, and then fans hear like, yeah, CJ, you kind of like subconsciously parrot the commentary, whether it's right or wrong or you agree or not. Like, because I went back and watched the TV copy, and I'm like, I don't agree with this, and I got like halfway through, and what I realized is I love JJ Watt to death. But I can't help but feel the last time, and then especially this game, where he is overcompensating for not coming off as biased. Like, he was overtly trying to be on the Colts side, and he'll say it's honest, and people say he's just calling it how it is, or Colts fan will tell you that. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like I got a pretty good grasp of him and his personality, watching him for years on all kinds of medias and mediums. He strikes me as someone who's like me. Like, he just wants to be liked by everybody. And so he knows if he's a homer to Texans, he's going to get ripped to shreds. So he has to be, objective. So I felt like he overdid it. And like, just I'll touch on this topic now, but like the Colts fans, man, like, what a bunch of fucking I'm gonna mince my words, but like, what a bunch of soft ass MFers, dude. Like, not all of them, but there's, obviously it's always the minority, like online, like the group of people like yelling like is the loudest because the squeaky wheel gets the grease. That's not the right analogy for that, but anyhow, what I'm trying to say is, they're all complaining about all these fucking calls and shit. Obviously, there's the pass interference, which was BS on us that got us a touchdown. But okay, that's 1 for 7 points. Kalen Bullock got a PI and a ball thrown 10 to 15 yards out of bounds, and y'all got a touchdown. Boom, clean slate. And then they want to complain about this extra point. The extra point was fucking good. Like, it's good. Like, people don't understand how a ball can move. Kaimi kicked it straight through the upright, and it went from his right to his left, like this. And the upright's right here, and it goes through the upright. I thought it went through, but even then, the upright also extends up. But people think that, I didn't see it go. If the ball was 2 feet below, it would have went like this, and it would have been no fucking question. But because it went over the upright, and people don't understand how to use depth perception, they're like, the ball was, and they pause it after it went through and around, and like, nope, see, it's outside the upright. Like, yeah, dude, like. And I was at the game, so the problem is the commentary. Like, did he miss that? And so everyone's like, yeah, the commentator said he missed it. Yeah, that's right, he missed it. Like, okay, slow down and fucking look at it. And the problem is, like, they make these, like, proclaims or whatever, and then they don't go back and correct it. And then Gene Steratore, like, okay, cool, you're the rules analyst and you're in the fucking booth, whatever. But, like, just because you're that and this, like, doesn't mean you're always fucking right. And so it's like, the commentator said it. Gene Steratore said it. It must be right. Like, no, that's bullshit. Like, they don't go back and rehash it. And I'm in the stadium. All these Colts fans are getting all pissed off. Like, my buddy texted me. He said on TV this. They said on TV that. TV this. Like, okay, fuck the TV, bro. Like, I don't give a shit, dude. Like, and then, it's just, it all kind of disseminates from that. I mean, this is not too dissimilar, in my opinion, from the Azeez Al-Shire hit, in my opinion, on Trevor Lawrence. Was a big impetus of why that got blown up was the fucking broadcast blew the shit out of it. Like, they like, oh my God, what a bad hit, blah, 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 blah. And like, it just enraged everybody. But like, if they would have like correctly called, like, oh man, that's a tough hit, but like, he kind of slid late. He was already going and it hit him. Like, it could have diffused the whole fucking thing. But like, when you just kind of like start this and then move on to the next, like, you just created this whole bullshit. And you just fed all these bitter and salty Colts fans. So anyways, I'm just talking about face mask. And, the face mask rule is you have to grab and turn. You can inadvertently briefly touch and let go. Because if not, you could call that on every fucking play. We're playing fucking football. You're tackling people. Your finger might accidentally touch a face mask. It's a difference between touching and then grabbing and pulling. And so both of the face masks, I know one for sure that was online, briefly grab it. Oh, shit, face mask, let go. Doesn't affect the guy's fucking helmet. Like, Colts fans want to look at it in a tenth of a second. Like, oh, no, he grabbed it and then pulled it and twisted. Like, no, he didn't, dude. Like, y'all fucking lost the game. Move the fuck on. Like, y'all didn't lose the game because of the refs. And then, like, I was just playing devil's advocate at this point. Like, I'm getting pissed off. Again, it's the same shit. Like, text me the Colts. And let's find a way to discredit. Oh, y'all won because of the refs. Like, no, we won because we beat your fucking ass in your stadium in a must-win game for you. And, so I started pulling up clips of other questionable calls, whether I agreed or not. But the main thing for me was like, y'all want to sit here and question these calls? Okay, well, let's question these other calls on our end that we're not bitching about because we're not sore losers, And so the Alec Pierce touchdown, Might not have been a touchdown. You look at it in slow-mo, he goes down, the ball hits the ground and moves and hits the ground. That doesn't seem like a touchdown to me. But at the very least, if you as a Colts fan can acknowledge that's also worth debate, I would just post it and be like, is this a catch? Like, oh, fuck you, dude. You suck, blah, 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 blah. Quit crying, quit crying. The irony was hilarious. I got told that I was crying over and over, and I got told to take the win and move on. And I was like, one, I'm not crying. Y'all are crying. Two, how do you take a win and move on? And then I do what I do every week where I post clips about the game, win or lose, highlights, film, interviews. They're like, oh, you're obsessed with the Colts. Why you keep tweeting about us? I'm like, yeah, because we just fucking played y'all, genius. And they're like, well, it's been a whole day. Why are you still tweeting? Oh, it's been 48 hours. Why are you still tweeting? Like, y'all are so fucking hypocritical and such sore losers. Like, if y'all would have won this game, y'all be talking about it for forever. They're like, oh, that was y'all's Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. No, it was not our Super Bowl. It was a big fucking game. It was a road game in the division to go to one game back from you guys. Like, yes, of course we're going to talk about it. I've never seen a fan base so soft and so triggered in my life. It just absolutely blows my mind. So, like, we can go back and forth all day. That's my whole point is, like, y'all want to bitch about this? We can bitch about that. Like, y'all want to do this shit, or y'all just want to accept the loss and say, yeah, you know what? Maybe Shane Steichen is the reason why we lost. Maybe the reason why we lost is our head coach is a dumbass and has a huge ego and wins the toss and elects to receive against the best defense in the NFL. And then after that, he throws the ball 3 consecutive fucking times to try and prove that his offense isn't only just predicated off of Jonathan Taylor, and go 3 and out and then give the ball back to us and basically just waste the advantage of winning the toss. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe the reason is because Shane Steichen on the last drive of the game had a 2nd and 10 and then passed the ball 3 consecutive times and didn't run the best running back in the league in Jonathan Taylor. Maybe because he didn't get 30 carries when he should get 30 carries. Maybe that's the reason why you lost. Maybe it's because Daniel Jones played well, but not good enough. Maybe it's because you went 2 of whatever it was on 3rd down, and we went almost 50% on 3rd down. Maybe that's the reason why y'all fucking lost. Like, and so that shit drives me crazy. I'm sorry I'm cussing so much, but I will say, you know, there were a handful of fans, like when I made my ultimate post, like, this is like my point. I'm trying to show y'all's hypocrisy. Like, you know, a lot of fans kept crying. And even now, like, JJ Watt had a comment about the crowd, and and it happened today. So I talk about a post that happened today. Like, oh, you're still tweeting about us. Like, y'all are fucking soft, bro. But there are a good amount of them that aren't. It's just obviously, again, like the smaller ones are always the loudest and most annoying, but it's just hilarious. And like, oh, I can't wait till you cry when the Chiefs, you know, beat you guys. That's not how I am. Last year, the Chiefs beat us in divisional round. A lot of bad, questionable calls. Yes. Did I say that's why we lost? No. We lost because we sucked on offense, and we still had a chance to win. I did not blame the refs at all. And they're like, oh, you're going to blame the refs next week. Like, no, I'm not, dude. Like, y'all are tripping, dude. So they've been crashing out big time. But yeah, so I'm kind of on a roll there. I'm missing all the comments. I'm sorry. But yeah, let's get over this Colts one. I mean, actually, you know, we can save it as long as they want, but let me see here. You know what I might do is I might start playing some interviews first, just so I can give myself a chance to look at some comments and maybe catch my breath. That was about a 50-minute rant there. So I'm just going to scroll through my Twitter timeline, maybe find some post-game clips to share with you guys, and I will just BS while I do so. Shout out Case, Mate Cardinal on YouTube. It's fine. We love our Texans. Love them winning in the Stroud house. And like Colby says, Jag fans are annoying too, but they cool when we beat them. Yeah. I mean, Jags fans they're just like annoying, but they're not like anything. They're not just insufferable. They're not, they will talk. And so I hate that I get drug into this because, like, I don't like to talk crap. Like, I don't like to post and be like, we're going to beat so-and-so, or like comment on someone's post. Like, yeah, we're going to beat y'all's ass. Stroud's going to do this and that. Like, I don't do that shit. But I'll post this like a informational video, and they'll be like, oh, F you suck, we're going to do this and that, and I'll just bookmark it. Like, so people will talk shit to me unsolicited, and I'll just bookmark it. And then if we lose, okay, whatever, you talked your crap, but I never said anything to you, you can have your win. And then, you know, if we win and they talk crap unsolicited, I'm going to come back and tell you, I'm trying to like teach you a lesson, like, bro, like, don't come just popping off, like, you're gonna pay for your repercussions there. But I mean, maybe there are some times where I have gotten cocky. It's been a while, but if I do get owned and say some stuff, I'll say, rather than sit there and cry and complain and move the goalposts, I'll say, you know what, you're right, I was wrong, you're right, good game. Like, it's not that hard, dude. I think the problem is I'm probably arguing with like freaking 16-year-olds. So there's a lot to get to on the timeline. Let me just keep scrolling for a second here. We're almost to the bottom. Yeah, a lot of it's these plays. Exposed all of it, dude. I was a one-man army. I owned all those freaking losers, dude. I took on every last one of them, and they're all over my page. They're all so butthurt. And they're like, I don't know why you keep popping up my feed. Like, yeah, because you keep fucking replying to me, dumbass. You know how an algorithm works? If you engage with me, the computer says, hey, this guy likes this, I'm going to give him more. Like, yeah, just fucking don't reply if it bothers you that much, or just mute me or block me. But like, they want it. Like, it was just so funny to see like the comments they were making, like, move on from the loss, quit crying. I'm like, y'all are just exposing yourselves right now. Like, I'm not crying about a win. Like, what are we talking about? Is that even possible? Crying about a win? And so that I got a lot of joy out of these dumbass comments, dude. It was just, they were crashing out hard. So yeah, so let's see. I think we're at a good point here. Yeah, I went to St. Elmo's after the game, which is like a steakhouse that's real famous, and obviously the combines in Indianapolis. And up there, they're famous for their shrimp cocktail. And I don't know if any of y'all have been there, but that shrimp cocktail was pretty overrated. I would say it was almost as overrated as the Colts team this year. Shrimp from Vietnam. We live in Houston. I live in Texas. I get shrimp out the Gulf in my backyard, and it's like the freshest shrimp you can get. And then all they do is just put way too much horseradish in there. You eat it, and you just like start crying. Like, it's not even like food. It's just so dumb. Anyhow, we're almost to a point where I can show y'all some good content. So, yeah, I definitely went back and dunked on a lot of people. But hey, it's been an exhausting week arguing with these losers all week. So, that being said, here's the Miko post game. Let me share my screen. And this might need to be an episode where I won't get too much into the Chiefs because we're spending so much time on these dumbass Colts fans. D'Amico after the game.
Outstanding job, man. Outstanding job. At the end of the day, man, we talked about coming here and taking what we wanted. Everybody, it took everybody in here. Coaches, players, every man in here stood up, made a play. We needed to make a play. It took every second on the clock to finish this thing, but that's what it's about. Coming and winning a divisional game versus a tough opponent, and we got to see these guys again. Great job right there getting the first one. Now on to the next one. Let's keep it going. Everybody, great job. Complimentary football all the way around. A lot of great things you guys did. Most important thing, what we come here for, is the dub. One time, Texas! Outstanding job, man. Outstanding.
I love that he comes out saying like we took what we wanted. And like that's pretty bold talk, dude. But yeah, so and then CJ Stroud never throws to Nico Collins. He threw to Nico Collins. And then the worst thing about all these fans is like that are talking crap to me. They're fans of like 5 or 6 different teams. It's like this is the Colts fan talking crap to me is a fan of the Calgary Flames, the Jets, the Ducks, the 4 different freaking hockey teams. Like, what are we doing here? Like, yeah. So now the Texans are 3-0 in games called by JJ Watt. Here is Nico Collins post game with Tom Pelissaro.
Nico, I can't think this ever gets old. You hear the fans booing at the end of the game. They're mad the Texans came in here and got a win. How big was this for your team?
Major. It was a big win, man. We know it was a division team, man. The Colts, one hell of a team, man. They're playing great, and we know on the road we had to come and bring it, man. So, man, I'm proud of this team. I'm glad we fought all 4 quarters, man. It's not an easy team to beat, man. But I'm glad we got the dub.
First time CJ Stroud had played in a month. How do you look to you, and what kind of a jolt did that give your team?
Man, I'm glad my dog back, man. You only get one brain, man. You got to take care of that, But I'm glad he's healthy. I'm glad he's back, doing what he loves. And I'm glad we got the win.
First rushing touchdown of your career, only the 3rd attempt Take me through that play and how long you'd been lobbying to run it.
Man, I've been waiting on it. It was just a reverse. The team trusted me to get in the end zone, man. Once I got the opportunity, I had to get in there. I felt like Woody back there. I had to go, man, just get in the end zone. But, man, I'm glad we got the dub. I'm glad I got in the paint. And most important, man, I'm proud of this team.
Enjoy the win, Nico. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, so some good comments there. Shout out my guy Nosh in the comments. But yeah, y'all are spitting facts over there, man. This was Titus post game. Posted this on IG. This is hilarious, dude.
No! Come on, Ed!
Boy, Ed.
Hey, no, man.
Oh, Trent, you better cover up, boy. That shit had me rolling, dude. Trent's like, oh shit. You better get that towel on, dude. CJ Stroud after the game on his performance.
Early on, I was a little rusty. I thought, they really didn't give me big plays. They were taking a lot of that stuff away. So I thought I was very disciplined. Check downs and getting the ball to where it had to go. And then of course the interception sucked. I got to just take care of the ball and put Hutch in a better spot and just flatten him out. But other than that, I thought I played.
So he said flatten him out. He's running across her, and there's a safety behind him and a backer underneath with his back to Stroud. And CJ saying he should have threw him here as opposed to here. I agree. If he does throw it there. But I still don't necessarily like it because this guy can turn around and pick it, even though his back's to the ball. I do feel like that interception was the very first play after the fourth down turnover. All the time in football, you hear about sudden change, turnover on downs, turnover. You get a big play, everyone's kind of discombobulated because they're not ready. And that's when you take the big shot. And so it's like, I feel like this was a play call they had to be a big shot play. And I feel like, hey, let's take a shot here. And it's almost like forced, even though he still makes the decision himself to throw the ball. And they're not saying, hey, throw this no matter what. You kind of gear up for this big play and you force it. So that is what I feel like happened. That's not to take blame off of him, just to add my own personal analysis and context.
Really good. I thought every opportunity I had, with the ball, I thought I made the right decision. A couple plays I went back, but I thought I did a really good job of taking what the defense was giving me. I think the type of team we have, I don't have to be Superman all the time, and I gotta just do my job each and every play. And I'm not gonna be perfect. I'm never gonna be perfect, and I trust myself. I know my teammates trust me, and that's all that really matters.
Let's go, dude. Wise words. I don't have to be Superman all the time. I'll never be perfect. Understanding that, he is developing and growing as a quarterback. He talked about before when he was out, him having this bird's eye view was good for him to realize that I have a really good defense. That's what he learned from Mills. Mills was more of a game manager. And so Stroud has struggled with that, like all young quarterbacks do when you're really talented, as far as the discipline where not going for the home run, taking the check down, throwing the ball away, not taking a sack, etc. And he showed signs of that today, and that is massive. So Jalen Reed, I believe he had a metal plate in his forearm from a previous break, I believe, that broke or something like that. Said he's probably out for the year. D'Amico says he's not out for the year potentially. They'll see, but that sucks because Jalen Reed is playing great for us. And then obviously that now at the strong safety position now forced Miles Bryant into that position, who kind of got beat a couple times. So that was something that stunk. Obviously they lost Sauce Gardner on the first or second play of the game. You never want to see that. I was looking forward to the matchup with Nico on him, but that forced them, their game plan going in was to run a lot of man, which what they had been doing with Sauce and Travarius Ward. I haven't dove into the numbers, but I feel like they ran less man than what they would have. But they now had Charvarius try to travel with Nico here and there. And so it definitely affected the game, but I guess that's not an excuse for either side. Ed Ingram had this incredible pancake block. D Cleater. Let's see. We'll watch it right here. And what a baller he's been, dude. Off the duo. Oh, little boy. Yeah, he's a stud, dude. So, missing comment. Someone asked about drafts or free agency. I don't get into it. When I'm in the season, I'm in the season, bro. I got plenty of time later as a fan to dive into that stuff. So I'll be late to the party on that, but I'm knee deep in the current season affairs. So, and And if I need to get super chats, bro. This YouTube is tripping. Be a good way for me to, because it's hard for me to, I want to answer every question, but it's tough for me to read them all. Yeah, talking about his rust, and I appreciate the comments on here. If you have a question that I don't get to, just spam the hell out of me. And you know what? I will do this. This will help. I'll show stuff on there. How's that? Okay. Maybe that helps. Yeah, give me a heads up on prospects in the draft, and I'll get caught up. I definitely dive into it. I know names. I watch college football, but like I'm locked the hell in on Texans right now. Yeah, so Derek Stingley Jr. Did not allow a reception on his only target across 28 covered snaps. This marks the 4th game this season, allowing less than 10 yards in coverage, and his 2nd straight shutout in coverage. And so, number of games 4 with 10 yards or less. He's number 1, tied with Quinyon Mitchell. And then Matt Ryan. Here's this is J.J. Watt talking about the Texans defense after the game.
I mean, the number one thing you see about this defense is just pure intensity and violence. The way that they attack people. They have such strong bull rushes, speed to power, which then opens up all their speed rushes, their spins, everything else that comes along with it. And they do it together as a group. They never really let the quarterback slip out, or they never both get behind him or both get in front of him. They don't give escape lanes. They keep them bottled up, and it's very difficult for quarterbacks to play against that.
Yeah, I just read the next gen. It may be wrong on there on Stingley. But yeah, dude, Barry talking about Eamon Worry. He's a stud. I liked him in the draft process. Yeah, so here is Matt Ryan after the game talking about Stroud.
But I really liked C.J. Stroud's mindset right there. I think he understands what their football team is. Their football team is a defensive-driven football team. He also mentioned pass protection and run game. Explosive pass plays, that kind of stuff, that's at the bottom of the list right now. He talked about taking care of the football, making good decisions with the football, understanding the pieces that he has around them. And I think if he plays that type of way, this team is as good as anyone, is playing as well as anyone right now. They're a scary football team if C.J. Stroud starts to find that stride. And I think he is. I think he played very, very well in the second half.
And this is what made Brady great. And I'm not comparing Stroud to Brady. I think Stroud can be a really good quarterback. But my point in saying this is Brady knew how to change his game based off of what was needed of him. And like, if you listen to him talk and all of his, and it's like easier said than done, like having this discipline to like not try and get all these flashy stats and just doing what it takes to win is the ultimate goal. Brady was elite at that, like getting a sense and a feel for game to game. How's this game going? Like having the discipline to just go, just not take the penalty or turnover, whatever it may be. So Stroud is getting there. And he's showing awareness. You can talk about it, but he's also showing signs of it. So, but yeah, so we held the Bills to however many points that was, 19 points. They were like the top 1, top 2 when we faced them. You faced the Colts, the best offense in the past, decade, to 16 points. I mean, the best defense won. And let's see here. Still going through. We'll do a couple more, and then I'll get over to the box score, kind of bouncing around a little bit today. That video was hilarious. That guy did. Vandy had a funny call. Sauce will be out for at least a couple of weeks. Here's C.J. Stroud's post-game presser on the sideline with Evan Washburn.
In one-score games were a problem for this team. What's changed now with 4 straight?
You cut yourself a couple of times. You start to heal, and you start to learn how not to cut yourself anymore. So I thought, we did a great job, man. All glory goes to God. And I'm just grateful for this team, for, our offense and our defense, our special teams playing together. So, man, it's a big-time win for us. We're going to keep it rolling.
You were on the sideline for basically a month. What was it like being back out on the field in this type of environment?
Yeah, I was a little rusty, at first, that early interception off of a turnover, got cleaned that up. But other than that, I feel like I distributed the ball well, was accurate, put our guys in position. But it's not me without our protection, our ability to run the ball, and our receivers running routes and tight ends. So, man, it's a collective group. And, man, I think I've knocked off some rust and be back rolling.
Some people will say the season really starts after Thanksgiving. You guys have won 4 straight. How dangerous is this Texans team?
Man, we're super dangerous. Like you said, man, we've lost some close games against some really good teams. And, if we find a way to win some close games, going past Thanksgiving, we'll be able to put ourselves in position, to do whatever we want. So, it's a great Colts team, and we're going to see them again. But, it's a grind every week, and it's hard to win the league. But, if you can get it done, man, it's a blessing.
Good to have you back, bud.
Thank you, man.
I thought that was where did my face go on this? There we go. I thought that was a good job of, balancing confidence and being humble, I think he's good at doing that. So, yeah, dude, after the 4th down stop, they played Bulls on Parade. You could not make this up. I kind of caught it late, but I was laughing my ass off. I was yelling, Bulls on Parade. And then later they played the old Rockets intro, You Got to Know by Capella late in the game, which was also thought was hilarious. And then, yeah, all this complaining about Colts fans, like, look at this, like a dirty ass play, late tackle, trip, swipe of the legs. Like 1, he's going low. 2, it's a late hit. Like, come on, bro. Like it's exactly like, you share that, they get all tripped out. I thought this was funny. This showed up in the stadium too. And then I saw it in the broadcast when I rewatched, but they did like an automatic virtual measurement on the Stover Cat on 4th down, and it said short 6 inches. I was told that 6 inches was not short. So there's a couple ways to look at that. It can look like this says that 6 inches is short, or it can look like, hey, 6 inches means a lot. Like, you almost got it, but like it's a big deal. I choose the latter. I think it's a big deal. And so here's D'Amico Ryans after the game.
CJ did a really nice job coming back. I'm missing a lot of time. I know some throws he would like to have back, but overall, thought he managed the drives really well. We drove down. Of course, we want to score on some of those. We get down, we had to kick field goals, but overall, for him coming back, not having played in a few weeks here, thought he did a really nice job of, if this is where he's starting, it's only up for him. So I'm excited to see how he continues to progress. CJ did a really nice job coming back.
Yep. So, I mean, basically the same stuff we've been saying, like showing signs of growth. Shout out Dewan on X, says he noticed the Texans are 6-1 against the Colts. Yep. There's definitely a pause on the 6 inches there. 11 sacks to Mahomes incoming, says Rauli on YouTube. And then, yeah, Chris Sims gave us some love after the game.
Well, it starts with Houston Texans. Houston Texans, you see Stroud and clear. First off, they got a Super Bowl defense. All they need is just the offense to be good. Move the ball a little bit. C.J. Stroud missed 3 weeks in a row. Here he is, comes out. Not a lot of big plays, not real sexy.
Let me just say this real quick. All the ball knowers are praising Stroud. Sims, Matt Ryan, Dan Orlowski, Kurt Warner. Like, maybe the guys that know quarterback play know what the hell they're talking about.
But efficient. They moved the ball throughout the day, stayed patient with the run, and he made some big passes when he needs to. Big win by the Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud. Glad he's...
Yeah, so, I mean, Sims has always been high in the Texans. You know, like, they're a dark horse. It's heating up. Yeah, Broncos had a crazy game. So let's see here. Kind of going through, but, yeah, some of the calls. Here's Kyle Brandt on the Texans.
The Colts to 16 points a week after they held the Buffalo Bills to 19 points. The Texans defense is probably the strongest group.
Get a water real quick.
What's better? Are you going to say the Bills offense with Josh Allen? I don't know. You can say the Bengals offense. They're not as relevant as the Texans. Nobody wants to play this defense. Nobody wants to try to pass against this defense. It's a playoff defense and a playoff pass rush. Remember, guys, this was an 0-3 team. This was a 3-5 team. They are now 4 in a row. And the best part of all is if you think they're not getting enough credit or exposure, I will direct your eyes to this Sunday night when the Houston Texans go to Arrowhead Stadium on Sunday Night Football. Not only going against the reigning AFC champions. No. This is to put a stake into the Chiefs and say, bye-bye, you can sit your starters because you are done. You are not making the playoffs. That is a massive opportunity for the Texans. Nobody does that to the Chiefs. Nobody does that to Mahomes. But if they go into Arrowhead and hold the Chiefs under 20 points and win, the Chiefs are done. We will not talk about that anymore.
Bye-bye, Patty.
And the Texans...
So, that's Texans, okay.
...are the ones that shoveled the dirt on them. So, Houston, you're having a month. Go have a week. It's an incredible time we're in right now. We're not in the last week of the season even. In week 14, the Houston Texans can eulogize the Kansas City Chiefs. It's a nuts thing to say out loud, but it's Houston's that good that they can do it.
How sweet would it be, man? I mean, it's possible. I'm not going to sit here and get it like too over. Like, I'm prepared for either outcome, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by either, honestly. But as much as it'd be great to end their season, it's more about us. Like, this is like a big monkey off the back moment, even though you still have to do it in the playoffs. Like, this would be this could be potentially like, I'm just kind of saying this now, like, could this be the biggest win in franchise history? Could this be the biggest win in franchise history? Is that crazy to say? Like, obviously we've had playoff wins, but like, this would be like the biggest statement game for us, even though the Chiefs are 6-6 and maybe not the Chiefs, but like, this could be one of the biggest wins in franchise history. You go on the road into Arrowhead and you beat a 6-6 Kansas City Chiefs team and essentially end their season with their backs against the wall. And that would show, hey, yes, you still have to win the playoffs, but like, it shows like we played them on the road last year in the regular season, didn't win. Playoffs didn't win. We go to Baltimore, other contender, on the road, the regular season, don't win. Playoffs don't win. Playoffs don't win. And so like, we haven't won we play the Ravens at home on Christmas Day. Like, we haven't won these big games. Like, we beat the Colts. Yes, fine. But like, we haven't beat like one of these behemoths. I know the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs. I still think they're a great team. They've lost a lot of one-score games. This could be the biggest win in franchise history. I mean, it's huge, dude. Like, and what it would do for the city, I went on a rant earlier about optimistic and pessimistic. I get it, but like, a lot of people, I understand where they are just from like the history and culture of Houston sports and the Texans and our franchise. And like, every time I get up, they kind of shoot me back down. They don't really want to fully put their feet in, to jump in the water quite yet. But like, if they win this game, this shit is going to blow the fuck up, bro. Like, look how much hype and attention and like momentum it's getting right now off of that Colts win, which was massive. But like, if you do this, it's fucking on, bro. Like, and that's going to be annoying too for some of us in a sense of like, okay, now we're getting too much hype, but like, now it's like, all right, this shit is for real, bro. Like, I still believe this team is for real regardless, but like, I'm talking about just how it's going to be on the outside. So, they need to do that because they deserve that. They deserve it, and they need that confidence, although it can be rat poison, but they need it for themselves. They need to, as much as they don't want to say it, and it's a new year, new team, like, they're still like the franchise. And D'Amico is well aware of all this shit. Like, he said last year, he was pissed off after that loss. His first press conference after that, he said, I am well aware of our franchise's history and the fact that we've never been to an AFC championship game. And that is his goal, at the very least, is to make an AFC championship game. That's all that we freaking want. At the very least, we want to be able to do that. And this would be a big step in going there. And you win this, you can win the rest. You can win the division, and you can, I mean, what's the standings now? Like, I was looking at it earlier. I was rooting against the Patriots, obviously, but I mean, who knows? Like, maybe you could get a top 2 seed. Maybe you could get a 1 seed. Like, there's still plenty of ball left. Let's look at the standings real quick. I know it's crazy, but like, hey, we were 0-3, 3-5, but like, that's what like we should be playing for. I know it's one game at a time, but Patriots are 11-2. We're 3 games back. So that means they got, I mean, the 1 seed's not out of question, bro. I mean, I know it's crazy to say that. Like, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm just saying you win this game and then that, but that's what I got my eyes on. Like, you could get a top seed and get a bye. You could win the division and get a bye, or a home playoff game. So that's all I'm saying, man. So it looks like y'all are still paying attention. I'm getting some people hyping here. Let me get to some of the comments, but I always forget how to pronounce your name, bro. Is it Methan or Methan Weber, or is it Weber? This would be the most important win of the past couple seasons for us. This is a playoff game with big implications for both sides. Beating Ravens, Bills, and KC in the same season, and the Ravens and KC in both of their stadiums. So, yeah, I mean, I think y'all are kind of agreeing it's a pretty big game, dude. So, like, it's really like for like a stain or stink on the franchise, it's like getting rid of that boogeyman. But on the flip side, I'll be fine. I won't be stressing too much. A lot of the doubters will be like, yep, see, they can't win the big fucking game. So it's like, if y'all are getting tired as a team or franchise of hearing all this shit, you have a chance to put all that shit away and really, like someone said, on to the next chapter. So, yeah, so I kind of got hype on there. I had a realization there. That's kind of a fun topic to think about. So, yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, this team can make a run. And we'll even get Golden Scholar back. He says if they beat Mahomes and eliminate KC from playoff contention, he will forgive everything. So, and hey, I'm gonna bookmark this shit. Can I bookmark it? Someone screenshot that. He said, I will legit not talk about D'Amico's job again. LMAO. That's probably the thing I would like the most is people will stop tripping all the time. They'll stop stressing. I mean, it's cool. It is what it is. So, yeah, hey, I love to hear it, man. I love to hear it. And then Dyson says it's one thing that they are, but it's another thing for them to keep saying it so nonchalantly. Be humble and confident. Actions speak louder than words. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're super humble. They're super humble about that stuff. But let's buzz through, going back and forth here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but for the game, real quick, we'll go through it quick. First downs, 24-17. Okay, dominated that. And then we had, let's see, rushing first, total play 71-51. Like, okay. Hold on one second. It's saying your browser has lost connection to your screen share audio. Try. Okay. We don't need it there anyways. And then let's see, passing 256-195. Okay. Stroud outdueled Jones. No kidding. And then let's see, we had 2 sacks for 20. They had 1 for 6. Rushing 108-86. We outrushed them. We rushed for 100 yards. And I will say this too about the run game and rushing. I know like a lot of the runs early don't work and we get frustrated by them. We should pass more, but like from like my recent memory, we pass more than we run, much more than we think. We're like 60-40 or something like that. We're like kind of like in the top tier of like pass to run ratio, and we would think it was more run. But there is truth into sticking to the run, because on that last drive where we really drove the ball and before we had the turnover on downs, was that the first play, the big play to Nico, was a play action pass because we stuck with the run. Like that has to be, considered when you're talking about abandoning the run. And then even late in the game and recent games, like the run starts to break late in the game. Like there is the element of like wearing them down. And D'Amico had talked about, we might get to it, but he talked about sticking with it and then varying it up. Like Caley maybe wanted to run these kind of runs, realized it wasn't working. They were skewing us this way, and now he ran more outside runs. And Nick Caley had a fucking hell of a game, dude. Like he has been over criticized, in my opinion, especially as of late. Like, yes, there were struggles early, but I mean, again, shows so much creativity. Like we had the Nick Chubb and the Wildcat, the Chubb Cat. That's a pretty funny one. Pause, just in case. Which I thought I liked it. Getting creative, showing that you're trying to make shit shake. And it gained like 5 yards, but there was an illegal formation, which Stroud was getting blamed for, even though he was out wide as a receiver. Typically, it's the receiver's responsibility to line up right first and foremost. But then ultimately, you can blame the quarterback for not double checking before they snap it, like making sure they're on or off. But like really, it's on the receiver. But if you want to blame Stroud, Nick Chubb is the quarterback. He's the one snapping the ball. He can't sit there and dictate that. So that's on the receiver and or Chubb. But it went from now 2nd and goal from the 2 to 2nd and goal from the 7, or it was a 5-yard penalty, and it was a solid gain. So I liked that call. I liked the Nico reverse, really well executed. Nico's only 3rd rush of his career. Let him run the ball. Like as soon as he caught that, I said touchdown. Like because he had space and he's a big motherfucker, dude. You can't tackle if that guy has you see how he is when he catches the ball on the run when CJ Stroud hits him in stride on a slant, and now he's on an end around and has room to run, he will run your ass over, dude. A 6'4", 225-pound receiver running a 4.4, like, you're going to get the hell out of the way. So they need to do that more. They had the Nick Chubb, another crack toss, I believe, an outside run. Like, please, yes. So Nick Caley called a hell of a game, dude. And a lot of what he's been doing, I haven't dove into the film to like really see, but like just from my naked eye, from watching the TV copy in the game live in person, a lot more heavy, a good amount of heavy package again, putting Blake Fisher out there, and then out of that now getting them to, get in man coverage and now hit your, play action or your other passes there. So, but then I'll say too, penalties were an issue. We'll go by the play-by-play and I'll do that. So, but yeah, so going back to it, red zone, we were 2 of 5. So again, red zone is an issue. And then they were 2 of 4. And then time of possession, 34 minutes of 25. So like, this is the recipe, bro. Like, I will say red zone sucked, needs to improve. Yes. But the offense, again, still moved the ball up and down the field. And, within doing that, you're kicking field goals. You had the turnover on downs late with the Stover Cat. But it's still a good thing. It's still a win. You're still keeping your defense fresh. You're still putting pressure on them. And so, yeah, third down. We were 6 of 13. They were 3 of 10. That's the fucking game. That's why they lost. That's not because of the refs, because we converted on third down and y'all fucking didn't. Y'all thought y'all could blitz Stroud and he fucking diced you up on third down. Like, he was converting third and longs. And I will get on this topic real quick too. And I'm going to write an article on this, but CJ Stroud on the blitz. And this is what I've been saying. Like, I'm not like a CJ Stroud apologist or, Glazer or whatever. Like, I think he's good. I know that he's good. I've watched him. Like, I know what he is. He struggled early. And I said that a big part of it that was going miss or incorrectly diagnosed was he's throwing these passes and it looks like it's bad, but it's the receivers. If you listen to all these press conferences like I do between him and D'Amico and Caserio, they're like, oh, yeah, the route detail is getting better. Like, they're basically saying the receivers, as I was saying, were fucking up earlier in the year. Like, in this new scheme, new system with more freedom to do certain things, knowing when to be hot, he would expect them to be there and they wouldn't be there. So he couldn't fucking trust them. So then he would only throw to D'Amico. And it's not their fault. I'm just like saying, like, that's part of it. Like, we sit there and want to blame him, but like, there's a lot that goes into this shit, especially on blitz pickup. And so the receivers have improved that, especially the young guys. They got more reps, more time on task. So, and that's just part of the natural evolution. And, even for Nico, he's a veteran receiver, but he's still doing new stuff. And, Stroud, obviously, he's not completely absolved. He, miss ID protections, or maybe he missed someone here and there, but like, the receivers have gotten better, and that was a big part of it. And I've heard countless interviews of them saying that. And then the O-line, like, they've been pretty good at picking up blitzes, but they're also getting better. So, yeah, the receivers getting better. You have Stroud, setting the most ideal protection as far as setting the mic and pass protection. And then the O-line getting better at picking up. They had, some mental lapses here and there, not nearly as much as last year, but now it's like almost none. And then also it's the personnel in the O-line. It's the new arrangement. And that a big part of that D'Amico brought up with Harris and Vandermeer is now with Titus at left guard, he can talk to Ursery. You have a rookie who now has a veteran who's balling to help him out. Whereas before it was Juice or Patterson or Lakin, guys that were so worried about their own shit that they couldn't help him out. So that is a massively underrated part. But yeah, we'll go to the play-by-play real quick and kind of go through the rest of the plays that way. But yeah, like I said, they get the ball, go 3 and out. We have a great drive, and we get a penalty down there to extend it in the red zone. And let me see what happened after that. So, and then Stroud, there was a great play call by Caley, had Schultz, and I believe he motioned him. And then Schultz ran like a delay Texas or angle route, and it was wide fucking open. Stroud throws it to him, gets tipped. It was a touchdown. So it's like, damn, like, and like right when that happened, people were like, oh, Mills would have threw it over the guy's head. He's because Stroud's too short, not tall. And after one drive, people were calling for Stroud to get out of the game. We want Mills in, blah, blah, blah. Like, what the fuck are we doing, dude? And then they go 3 and out again. And then we go 3 and out. And so it kind of becomes like a suck fest. But, so we had that penalty down there on the Chubb Cat. And then the next drive, we had a huge gain to Christian Kirk, 21 yards, first down. Let's fucking go. We're balling. Illegal formation. And it was because I believe Kirk or it might have been Higgins. They called it like on there. They said Ursery's name, but I think Higgins was responsible because he motioned from right to left. I could be wrong. And he was supposed to get on and didn't. And so Ursery was not covered up was the call. So we had 2 receivers off the ball. And it just from bullshit semantics of not doing your own shit. Yes, ultimate responsibility on Stroud. You can blame him for that there. I know people are like, oh, Mills commands the huddle. He wouldn't do this shit. Like, come on, dude. Okay, if you want to say that, this is the one that you can blame on him. And that killed the drive. You go from a 21-yard gain to now 1st and 15, boom, drive dead. And then next time we get the ball, it's you get a holding. And I can live with holding. It was on Ursery on a Nick Chubb run. Otherwise, it would have been a huge TFL. So you're now 1st and 18, and then Stroud has the illegal forward pass, which okay, shit happens. I mean, it was a 5-yard penalty. They probably still wouldn't have gotten. They were still behind the 8 ball anyhow. It would have been 2nd and 18. So it wasn't really that being the drive killer. But I mean, penalties killed the next 2 drives, and it killed the first drive from being a touchdown, I believe, along with the drop pass. And then they go, and then we get them shut down on a 4th down. We talked about that. Next play, we throw a pick. Okay, that's on Stroud. And then they go 3 plays, touchdown. It was fueled by a big pass to Alec Pierce. Because they had a short field. And then we respond to touchdown ourselves. Had a good drive there at the touchdown. Just, throwing it down the field. That's a Chubb touchdown. Then they had a punt. And then, before the half, that was bad. This was bad. So it all started when Jaden Higgins caught like a deep crosser, and rather than just run upfield, he was like a yard short of getting the first down. But he's such a big dude, like you can get tackled, you will fall forward for the first down. He kind of freaked out, ran sideways, and then went down. I think he was worried about the clock, didn't know where he was, overthinking. Rookie mistake, killed us in the moment. It kind of screwed and put D'Amico in no man's land. He didn't know what to do. And so basically, he didn't know what to do. D'Amico, I thought he should have, I get, you're now in no man's land. It's 4th and 1, just past midfield, and you don't want to, call a timeout too early and then go for it on 4th and not get it. Now they can get a field goal. So then he lets the clock go all the way down. Okay, fine. Calls a timeout. It's like, oh, dope. He's going to kick a field goal, like a 62 to 64 yarder with no time left. Make it cool, miss it, whatever. Are you that worried that they're going to block a kick and return it? Why didn't you kick a field goal with Kaimi Fairbairn there? That blew my mind. I get conservative, not want to mess stuff up, but the chance of you blowing that, that is a head scratcher. And that is an area where D'Amico needs to get better still. End of half situation. So all good. 281 says crazy how CJ loses 2 passing options in pass pro. I'm not sure what that means. Donald says, let's go Texans. No, I like that D'Amico called the tush pushes. I'll get to that. Yep, the INT was brutal. O-line's getting better. I mean, I like the jumbo, dude. I think the more looks we give him, the better. But yeah, obviously you don't want to have to rely on it. It's definitely not a bad thing, I don't think. You just said you wanted D'Amico to be more involved in offense. Now he's talking to him. JJ says, even before that Higgins play, I was getting tilted because our offense had no urgency whatsoever under 2 minutes. Yeah, and so, that – but see, to me, that's from D'Amico Ryans. And then Stroud's getting blamed. Like, oh, he has no urgency in the 2 minute drill. Like, he doesn't – he's like, if you're told to fucking do something, you do it. To me, that's D'Amico being conservative, defensive-minded head coach, not wanting to go too quick and then give them a chance to come back because he knew we got the ball back before half. So that's what I suspect on that. And I'm okay with it to an extent. And then, yeah, Higgins get the first down, but dude, just kick the field goal, bro. Like, it doesn't make any sense to not kick the field goal. So, but then you come out, great drive to start the third quarter. 14 plays for 8 minutes, bro. Like, that's how you win games, dude. Like, in the playoffs, you ball control. Again, you stall in the red zone, but let's see here what happened in the red zone on this one. So we get down to the 14. And so what happened was we got down to first down. Dude, that pass was sick. Yeah, so they had that rollout from CJ where he, on a boot, pressure in his face, threw it to Stover, who's like pretty much covered. It was a dot, and it was a great catch by Stover. Shout out Stover. He had a great bounce back game. But yeah, so they stalled in the red zone. They got first and 10 to 14. Chubb for no gain. Passing complete to Nico. I'm not quite sure. I need to watch the film. And then he was sacked for 11 yards. I know one of the sacks, I don't blame him for. Ed Ingram got worked on it. He got beat real quick. And then the other one, I'm not sure. I have to look at it. And so I understand the critique and criticism with Stroud taking sacks. I think he probably will still have some bad ones where he makes worse, but hopefully he learned. I think there's instances too in this game. Again, haven't watched the film, but like live watching the game, TV copy, where it looks like he just makes a bad throw and he's intentionally throwing the ball away somewhat close to a receiver. I saw like at least 3 of those where it's like back of the end zone over a guy's head, and it was him essentially dirting the ball, but in the air. So again, like someone might see like, oh, that was a terrible throw. What's he doing? Like, he's throwing the ball away. He's making smart plays. And so we can live with that. And then, yeah, their touchdown, they had a big, 30. Oh, that was on. Yeah, this drive was frustrating. 3rd and 11, Josh Downs, great catch and throw, beat Miles Bryant. And, they go down there and they get the penalty on Bullock on 3rd and 9 and gave him a touchdown. Or 3rd and 19, I'm sorry. That's crazy. 3rd and 19, and then a touchdown to Tyler Warren. And then like we respond every time they got a touchdown, we got a touchdown. Like that, the response is we're good, bro. Like that's what you want to see. And obviously, we drove it down the field and we got aided by the penalty, but hey, they washed out. And then they got a field goal to make it 20-16. And then this drive, we were cooking, dude. Like get down there. I love the Stover Cats. That was a new look. Kate Stover, interviewed by Aaron Wilson, said that he played quarterback in high school. He said he talked to CJ Stroud about how to take snaps and get advice on that. But it was working. Like every time he did it, it worked. You get down there, it's let's see, 2nd and 1, you don't get it. So that's where you kind of maybe don't like the call. I say you run it on 2nd and 1. But then 3rd and 1, sure looked like he got it to me. We can cry and complain about, hey, why didn't he get the first down on this 3rd and 1? I was in the stands and I said, run it again. And D'Amico, he came out and said that it was D'Amico's. Kaylee was getting criticized for it, but it was D'Amico who said, I like that it's been working all game. I have a feel for the game. They asked him like why he did it. Like, oh, analytics say if you kick the field goal here, you go up 7, blah, 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 blah. He's like, I like analytics, but I also like a feel for the game. Like, I like that approach. Like, I think analytics are good, but you can't just go off of you have to have a feel for the game. I agree with that. I think the mix of the two. And so I question a lot of his decisions. I like this, one, that D'Amico overrid and told him to do it. And 2, that like the feel of the game. But he said like, I saw we've been doing it all game. He's been balling. Like I thought we got it on 3rd down, and he was not able to challenge the call because they confirmed it with the spot, but he should have been able to challenge the spot. So maybe he was told that, but like that was bullshit. Like you should be able to challenge the spot, even though they did a virtual measurement because they virtually measured the initial spot. But regardless, the play had been working. I liked it to say run it again and to tempo into it. It just they didn't get it. I know some people don't like it. I like it. I'm a fan of it. It's something new. And anyways, didn't get it. Game ends how it always ends. Defense on the field. And, Stingley makes the play on 4th down. Looks like Daniel Jones might have missed Josh Downs on an out route. But yeah, I mean, so good win. I mean, it's just like every Texans game for the every D'Amico Ryans era Texans game. It's just crazy close game with defense on the field at the end. Going to the box score, C.J. Stroud was 22 of 35, 276, 75 rating. Daniel Jones was 14 of 27, 201, 2 touchdowns, 101 rating. I mean, I don't know if that rating matches up for me, but hey, whatever. Woody Marks, 19 for 64, got hurt, came back. Chubb, 9 for 34. And let's see, Jonathan Taylor, 21 of 85. We'll take that all day, bro. Nico, 5 for 98 on 10 targets. Wow. Why didn't Mills throw Nico the ball? He only got 3 targets last game with Mills. Like, you know, it's because they ran more man coverage. So you had more one-on-one looks with Nico. It all depends what the defense gives you. Jaden Higgins is emerging as our number 2 receiver, as he should. 5 for 65 on 5 targets. That's pretty damn good. Schultz had another. This is what he does, dude. 755. Like, he's a stud on 8 targets. Hutch had a couple big catches, 2 on 5 targets for 39. Stover, a couple good catches. There was a Woody fumble that he recovered on his own. They muffed on their 4th down. They fumbled their Tyler Warren cat. But yeah, so that's pretty much it on that end. We had 1 sack. It was Sheldon Rankins. We can go over to PFF, which again, as always, PFF grades, not a massive fan of. I think they're good for certain positions. Stingley, cornerbacks, is definitely not one of them. They got them ranked terribly. But it's, still worth looking at to see some stuff, see if it matches up with what we see. So we'll go to, I guess I got to sign in. Y'all don't look at my password. I want y'all steal my shit. Oh, is that not signed in? I'll stop sharing for a second there. I think I have to go back. I don't want y'all to look at this. There we go. All these saved passwords. PFF. Sorry, trying to get this going. Why is this not going to it? PFF. Let's see. NFL fantasy, NFL premium stats. We're going to, okay, I can share this tab instead now. Let's go to present, share screen, and I will share the PFF. Need to utilize Noel more. I agree, Nosh. But I do think that these rookies are making mistakes, and I think the blocking is a big part of it. But I agree. I think, hopefully it happens at some point. Texans were consistently screwed by spots by the balls. I'm just going to stop on that comment. Y'all know what I was trying to say. Pause. First sack was Ed Ingram, and the second one he ran out of the pocket backwards and into pressure. But even if he stepped forward, he was going to get sacked, but it would have been for less yards. Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to go back and look at it, but I said, okay, Jacob HTX, they play where CJ was sandwiched between our 2 tackles and stepped up and delivered 1 pass to Dalton for the first. That was rookie CJ gameplay. Yeah, dude. And so this is what happens when he gets like pretty consistent protection. It's like, all right, now I can make these like ballsy plays because I know I'm not going to get crushed every play, and I can afford to take a couple of hits here and there. Izzy says CJ leaves the pocket way too damn early, though. There is time, and he just starts acting like this on top of an ant field. I didn't really see it this game. Like, I get that he did it earlier in the year, but like, I didn't really see it in this game. And then this is a kind of fair comment. Colby says, am I the only one who doesn't like Noel as a kick returner? Kick and punt returner, like, he started out great. He has his moments. That's interesting. This person says, I think that Tyler Warren play was a fake tush push snap to JT, just missed up the snap. I'll have to go back and look at the film, but that's definitely could be the case. So looking at the schedule, this was the Texans second best overall graded game on PFF, and I would tend to agree, a pretty good game. Offensively, 74 was our third best graded game by PFF offensively. I think the grades collectively are usually pretty good. The individual ones is where you kind of get some discrepancies. But yeah, pass block, it was one of our best pass block games of the year. Defense, they gave him a 70. It's, not, it's like good, but not whatever. But just going to offense, Nico Collins, 82, always balling out. Ed Ingram, 80. He's been balling out. Titus Howard, 75. He's been balling out. Cade Stover, 73. Hell of a bounce back in the run and the pass. Hagan, 73. Yeah, played pretty well. Jake Andrews, 71. Wow. Blake Fisher, 69. Nice. Trent Brown, 69. Nice. Dalton Schultz, 69. Nice. These are all good grades. Hutch, 68. Stroud, 66. Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe a little better, but I mean, it wasn't like elite, wasn't bad, was above average. Jakob, 65. Ursary, 60. And Christian Kirk, 59. Chubb, 54. Noel, 52. Woody Marks, 47. So I guess I think most of these on offense are, for the most part, agree with what I've seen so far. Will Anderson Jr., 91. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, he didn't get a sack. You know what? He impacted the game regardless. One of the sacks he helped them get, I believe, or he, had Daniel Jones, which, by the way, the Daniel Jones play, that could have been a fumble, right? I mean, when Will came in there and he's throwing and then starts to not throw it, same play we saw Lamar Jackson do. At very least, you have to question that as a fumble. Josh Downs, late in the game on the second to last play they had before the fourth down, caught it, made a football move, but he slipped, tried to put his hand down to stop himself and drop the ball, incomplete pass. I mean, there was a bunch of bullshit on their end too. So Petrie balled out. So good to have Petrie back. He made a lot of plays, a couple PBUs. Barnett balled out, 73. Tommy, 71. Togi, that is. Aziz Alshire, 70. Stingley, 69. Nice. Horton, 68. Lassiter, 67. Daniil Hunter, 67. Bullock, 64. Henry T, 61. And EJ Speed was 44. Wow, I need to watch the film, but I know he didn't play that great last game against the Bills, but yeah, so I think that's pretty much good on that. And now we can go back to the timeline and look at, and so the extra point, dude, like this, I don't know about, like, I know people watch this and still, like, I know I'm biased, I'm a Texans fan, but like this to me is in the upright. So here, look, the ball is going to go like this. I'm going to like exaggerate it, but it's going to, a big loop this way. So like the ball comes in here and goes there, but it's up here because of the goalpost. So it looks worse. Like if you look at it like this, to me is pretty clearly that it's in. The problem is you can't just see where it's at, but like that's still inside the upright right there. And I'm pretty sure that's like while it's crossing the crossbar. And then it goes right after, it whips around. I mean, what they should do is just get a fucking chip in the ball and on the goalposts. I'm like, was it in or not? Yes. I mean, that would be the easiest fucking solution. But you know what? That makes too much sense, Yeah, so I mean, yeah, there's like plays all up and down where they had penalties. I mean, do that shit all day. Here's Will Anderson Jr. after the game, talking about Derek Stingley.
Sting make that play there on that fourth down.
Yeah, it was huge, man. But we talking about an all-pro, man. Like he does that every day. Like you see it in practice, and it's crazy because the stuff that you see in practice is way crazier. So like when you get here, he's like, man, that's just Sting being Sting. But man, he's all pro for a reason. He makes big plays like that for us all the time.
That's dope. Let's see. All right, here's D'Amico on the Cade Stover.
During that series, we were driving the ball down. Felt really good of how we were driving the ball. Honestly, on the first third down, I felt like we got it. I felt we had really good movement, and I told the guys to do it again. Just being aggressive there. That's my call as the head coach. I'm aggressive, so hey, it didn't work. That happens sometimes, but it's not going to stop me from being aggressive. Yeah, I mean, there's always numbers, analytics, but it's also a feel. When I see our guys move the pile there on 3rd and 1 like they moved it, I feel like we could have did it again. And so I'm not going back on that decision there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they already confirmed it, and so it was I couldn't challenge it at that point. During that series, we were driving the ball down. Felt really
Yeah, so I don't know about y'all. I love everything I heard right
on
there.
the
I love it.
first
And then this is before the second half. This I don't
to
love.
get points there. We are trying to get points. We didn't execute how we wanted to execute at the end of the half. If we get the first down, we're in a good spot there. Want to finish vertical there. Thought Higgins did a great job of catching the football, but we got to finish vertical, get the first down there. Then we're in position to go ahead and try to get points.
Coach, the approach in that final offensive possession, knowing points are at a premium right now.
Yeah, we wanted to, get there. Didn't get there. Just wanted to take a shot at the end zone. We come back out in the second half. We get the ball.
Thanks, D'Amico.
All right, thank you.
I mean, he was confident they could make it work, and it did. But still, you'd like to, in these big games, refine that. So, Tyrann Mathieu on Up and Adams. We have several safeties hurt. CJ Gardner Johnson, initial starter, cut. MJ Stewart started, hurt. Miles Bryant's playing. Jalen Reed comes in, hurt. Here's Tyrann Mathieu with K. Adams on Up and Adams.
The Texans, the Texans, the way the Texans play defense. Man, listen, I'll come back to play for a defense like that.
Okay, hold on. All I'm getting here, we're going to take a break, and I want to talk about Lane Kiffin, of course. All I'm getting is you're ready to come back.
Wait,
are you ready to come back?
I mean, for the right situation, who wouldn't? You know what I mean? So
people who have retired wouldn't.
I love this game, so I'm like.
Tyrann wants to come back to the NFL. Let's go. This is exciting. This is huge news. This is very exciting.
Hey,
I knew
crazy.
you were not really retired.
Not really retired.
I mean, I don't believe in retiring.
And I'd have to go back and look at like how he finished before he retired, but I mean, just like initial thoughts is he would fit in the defense as far as that role. With D'Amico Ryans, smart player. I know he left on bad terms. Maybe he's not playing the best. I would have to dig in more, but I don't know what y'all think. But obviously it seems like Jalen Mills will be the immediate person to step in. But JJ says I'm not a fan of D'Amico influencing the plays for the offense. From the way he talks, he wants CJ to be a manager when CJ can be more. Also, if we find out D'Amico is the reason why we have so many runs up the middles, it's a problem. I don't think he calls the plays, but I mean, he definitely has a philosophy for the game because the strength of our team is the defense, and he wants the offense to complement the defense. But I mean, I like in that instance, I mean, when it's these third and fourth and shorts, that's when head coaches normally weigh in, offensive or defense or not. And for me as a field player, hey, run that fucking shit again. Okay, cool. Like, yeah, I'll do it. And you can tell he did it earlier in the year when he was mic'd up. I mean, he's like, run it again, run that sneak again. And it fucking works. So it's like, sometimes it works. So I get the gripes for the overall, but I like the personal him doing that in the moment right there. But you don't want to like over micromanage. Like, I think in that situation, it's fine. Shane Steichen after the game.
I thought he played pretty good. He threw 2 touchdowns. He had over 100 passer rating. Credit to Texans. It's top defense in the league. They had some tight window throws we had to make, some contested catches. But I thought he played overall. I thought he played pretty well.
Top defense in the league. Daniel Jones after the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do a good job mixing up looks. I think the personnel is good. They rush the passer well. They got good guys in the secondary, and they got good schemes. So, hats off to them. They're a good group. But when you look at it, I think we know we've got to execute at a higher level.
On a late game.
They compliment, but they seem like they didn't really want to give us our flowers. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but it feels like they didn't really want to give us our flowers. CJ Stroud was on the Pat McAfee show. Here he is. When
You
Pat
guys get a tough win, a tough environment. That's
let's
really
see,
good team.
shows
Did you
him a
see what
picture
they're
of the
doing
Stroud
on the
house.
internet? Did you see what they're doing? Did you see the picture?
No, I'm not on there.
Did you see this? I don't like this at all. I don't
That's
like
hilarious.
Is it CJ? It's called the Loud House, CJ. Okay, it's not the Stroud House. And I don't like that they're doing this. This is what's happening on the internet right now. You said you're not on the. I asked X to delete it. Okay, just know that I'm trying to clean that up.
Did they do it? Did they do it?
I don't know if they got around to it yet. I'm not happy about it. But it does feel like you play great football there every time. It's an honor to watch you. And geez, Louise,
appreciate it.
Houston Texans all the way back. You guys get a
The
tough
Stroud
win.
house. And here he is. They asked why he plays so good there.
The Stroud house that we just saw this picture. What is it about? Like, you seem to play very well inside the confines of Lucas Oil. What is it about that? You have good sight lines, like a good vid. Like, what is it? It seems like you just now obviously you play well all the time, but whenever you come into the loud house, as Pat likes to call it, you seem to do take it to another level.
What's the name of the place?
Yeah, I would just say like the level of focus, maybe goes up a little more just because it's a divisional opponent, and my boy Zaire, he's always mad at me, and he always talking crazy, so that maybe turn me up just a little bit, and so I know he's gonna hear this and he's gonna hate it, but after the game we're always cool, but during it, me and him go at it pretty good, but it's just all the competition, so I think it turns me up a little bit more, and I think, my line hears it and they want to play harder. So, it's just a division rival, in those games, you're going to be talking back and forth and, having words from one another. And I think maybe that, turns us up. But, I just try to, just be focused every play, go want to know every play and, take it from there.
Yeah. Let's let him sleep, maybe. We got to play you guys again. We got to play you guys again. It's going to mean a lot. And let's just let C.J. Stroud just go to bed. You got this moxie about you. You're duck-footed, and you go heel.
This shit right here is hilarious.
Hotel. I was watching you walk because you're right in front of our suite while there was a touchdown happening on the other side.
Let them hang, baby.
By yourself, you're over there, just having your time. Then lineman comes running over to you. Your walk is just that filled with aura. I mean, you are.
It kind of is,
franchise
dude.
QB, brother. It is. It is cool to watch you kind of do your thing.
That's hilarious about his walk, dude.
Yeah, tough environment.
Let's see. Going back through the timeline. This was dope. CJ Stroud talking about Davis Mills.
On that note, being a franchise QB, obviously you were banged up and you had to kind of watch the game from a different perspective. You used to being out there. What's that relationship like with Davis Mills? We call him Dougie Mills, but what's the relationship like with him off the field with you guys?
That's my brother, bro. Like, he's been a really, great leader for me coming into the league. I thought, coming in, fighting for the same position, he always showed me love still, and I try to do the same. And he's made me better. I feel like I made him better. And we have our QB dinners that we do, and we had a lot. His wife, is a really good friend of mine as well, and his family, I meet them, every time they come to the games and stuff. So, that's my brother, man. I always support him. I always, root him on. And I just think it's funny that people ask these questions now, just, because he's, had, some really good games. And, it's something that, like, I root that on. I think he's a starter in the NFL, and I think, he's proven that, in these couple games that he's played. So I just think it's funny how people, can try to switch the narrative to make it seem like I'm like some guy that's like, oh no, like
I saw a photo of you in the locker room. I saw a photo of you in the locker room. Everybody was happy, but you. Okay, everybody was happy, but yeah. I'm telling you, I seen it with my own.
This is like another one of the points I ran about earlier. Like, we're like, oh, look at him, he's mad. Like, what the fuck are we doing, dude? Someone take the screenshot of like one still second, and you can go to anyone in the room and do the same shit.
I'm prime.
You can see one.
I like that Pat is like making fun of this with comedy and satire, like exposing how dumb that shit was.
One photo, but look at the whole thing. Like,
no, it's 2025, CJ. We're not doing that. Right. I saw one frame. That guy's not happy.
Still concussed too in that frame, bro.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about the lights in that entire thing. Yeah, it was a narrative though. It was a narrative.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Some things in life, I try not to respond, and just let my private life be my private life. And I thought, me and my teammates, I think they, know how much of a leader I am and how much, having that C on my chest means to me. And that's not when it's always good for me, and that's when it's good for the team and it's sometimes not great for me. I got to be happy because that's, more important than just my selfish and my, personal desires. So I put the team before me anytime, man. And if that's, me not playing because, it was a Thursday night game and I was just super happy that we got the dub and it helps me out that I get to play hopefully more ball, as the season goes on.
Yeah, but I saw a photo. So.
Oh, yeah.
I don't need to hear it. I'm happy you cleared that up, though. That's good. And Dougie.
You need to screenshot that for a meme. Stroud sticking his tongue out. Let's see. That'd be a good meme right there.
So I don't need to hear it. I'm happy you cleared that up, though. That's good. And Dougie knows that you're happy for him, and that locker room knows that you're happy for him. Feels like you guys have a great culture down there.
You got to respect Pat,
QB,
like
obviously you were
his
banged up,
relationship
you had
with
to kinda
Stroud. Like this guy's killing his favorite team, but like they like have like they are similar. Like they like to just kind of talk shit and it's fun. But some people are like, oh, they're talking crap. Like, no, that's how you like react with your friends, bro. Shout out my guy Henry Jack. He says thoughts on Damian Pierce of the Chiefs. He got cut and signed with them, but I mean, I think maybe playbook, maybe they just needed depth, and then mixing out for the year is what it sounds like. You know, I'm holding out a small sliver of hope, but it says draft 2 running backs in the draft. I mean, at least one. Yeah, great response to that viral. CJ is charismatic. He needs to make that face when we beat the Colts again. LOL. Yeah, that'll be dope. All right, so let's see here. This is him about after Ohio State won. I thought this was cool. I don't know if we need to listen to it or not, but
Did
let's
hear
see.
that a little bit of a rumor. You called him. What was the messaging? And what was the conversation like?
Yeah, I just told them how much, I'm proud of them and just, just to see the smile on their faces and, to finally get, like you said, get that monkey, off our backs was just dope. And I was really just raving about the play calls, I told them about, it was a play that I ran my whole career there that, I seen them run and we scored on to Carnell. I was like, and I text Coach Key, the tight ends coach, and then when I talked to Coach Day, I was like, man, I seen what that play was. And then the one Brandon Ennis scored on the motion, I thought the motion was super cool. The timing, to get the ball snapped, in the perfect element where they thought we were
Need to add these to our playbook, Kaylee.
going to the flat, and he breaks it across the face on the slant. I thought it was super dope and a great play design by Coach Hart. So, and I really was marveling about, the play calls, but I thought overall they played great, and yeah, that conversation was well needed. I ain't talked to Coach Day in a little minute, so it was good to see his face.
Hell yeah. Good to see your face too, dude. Just not in our stadium. Stop it. Yeah. Enough of it.
That shit cracks me up. Yeah, going back through. Oh, this was crazy. Andy Reid. This was crazy. Andy Reid talking about the rest of the season.
I'm sure you've looked at the standings. This isn't your first rodeo. You know that you pretty much have to win the next 5 games. If you lose one, you're going to need a lot of help to get into playoffs. What's your level of confidence that things can start going your way and that you can win these next 5 games in a row?
Yeah, well, I believe that. I mean, I believe you come. If you're coming to me on this, Matt, I'm telling you, we're going to go after you every game. And, that's how we roll. We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play, every game. And, but that's the attitude that we're coming in with. And then you let the chips fall where they may. But at the same time, you got to make sure you take care of the small things here that we've got rolling. We've got to make sure that we get rid of some of these mistakes. But there's not a game that I go into that I don't think we're going to get after you.
That was wild, man.
I'm sure you.
Mega pause on that. That was wild. Let's see what else we got. We are scrolling back through. Yeah, PFF has Stingley rated as the 66th cornerback overall out of 108. Kind of wild. Woody Marks. Let's see. Here's Will. They asked him about him playing Mike linebacker because that little, over the center snap he had.
Should Aziz worry about you playing Mike linebacker?
He should be. He should be. No. Aziz gonna hold it down, man. It's a pleasure having him out there, man.
He was quick to say no. He looked around to see if Aziz was there. Like he's legit scared of Aziz, bro.
And it is great. And man, whatever they got us lined up at, everybody gonna make a play.
Did you have to ask for that play?
Yeah, I had to ask for Aziz. Aziz gonna kick my butt if I didn't do it right. So I had to do it right.
They keep looking around for him. Where's he at? That's hilarious. But it is cool that he asked and he got it. So like this can unlock a new level to our defense if he's able to be given the chance to do more on the defense. Woody Marks, when he's asked about being injured.
And when the injury first occurred, did you think that you were going to be out for the game, or was it
out
just
for the
a
game?
stinger? Yeah.
Oh no, I ain't never out for the game. No matter what the situation is, I ain't never out.
Dude, look how pause here, but look how thick his neck is, dude. Like he is fucking yoked, man. Like he's he's almost like a Doug Martin type, muscle hamster, underrated. Like he's small, but that dude is, man, he's fucking stout, bro. Pause. Yeah, Texans back in points per game allowed first, yards per game allowed first. And we are on pace for the best mark since the 2009 Jets, who made the AFC Championship with Mark Sanchez. So that just goes to show. And just keep going through. Chris Long, here he is on the Texans defense.
That defense is a superpower. That defense is the best defense in the league.
By the way, I appreciate all y'all in here, especially y'all hanging out for like fucking over 2 hours and just listening the whole time. I guess you got on the background chatting. I really appreciate y'all. I love doing this, man.
With all due respect to God's team, Reed. I think you guys are fantastic. There is a level of violence and speed on the field. They can play man coverage and just play off. And they break on the ball, and like they were hammering in cuts, and it's just there was a sequence in this game where it went toe-to-toe, and he ran through the middle of the pocket and just put a dent in, I think it was Jonathan Taylor's face mask. The violence, and then the next play, Will Anderson's big ass is the floater standing over who was it? The center, and Bortolini, a friend of the program, and runs him over. The violence with which they play, and ultimately in this game, Daniel Jones' inability to get off the spot.
Yeah, so I mean, they keep getting their flowers from across the media. Here's Charvarius Ward after the game, and I posted this because of the game plan. Like when Sauce got hurt, because they obviously wanted to run man, and he says what happens next. And so I'm just posting this as like Charvarius Ward says, and then headphone just died. So I just simply do it in that light, like, hey, here's what he said, and like literally quote him. And guys are like, oh, don't you know this and that? Like acting like I'm talking crap. Like these fans are so fucking sensitive. Anyhow, I'm just posting this because I thought this was cool about the game plan. Like I'm not even talking bad about anybody here. Which, by the way, backstory, he had like lost his daughter recently, so he's been going through stuff with that. And then he had the concussion stuff where he was like several concussions, and he had that one during pregame warmups where it's like he thought he might not play anymore. But anyways, I'm not even talking crap about the guy, but here he is on that.
Yeah, so basically just had to follow Nico, like you said. Obviously they put me on their number one receiver since we lost Sauce. And it kind of hurt to see him going down on the second play of the game like that. He all pro, highest paid corner in the game, so he a big dog too. So we definitely would have been better off with him. But just me putting me on Nico, man, and just having to rise to the occasion. And I don't think I played that good yesterday. Like I said, I'll get better though.
Yeah, I feel terrible for him. So he's been like going through like mental health. I mean, I can only imagine if that happened to me. Like, yeah, that would mess me up too, bro. So yeah, I feel terrible for him. But let's just see. Yeah, Jaden Higgins is the 7th highest rookie receiver in yards, or rookie in general. There's a lot of tight ends above him at 359, but he is also he would be the number 3 receiver overall behind Emeka Egbuka and then Tet McMillan. And almost done on some of these, and we can. It's late. I don't know if we'll get into any of the Chiefs stuff. We kind of touched on some of it here, but maybe do a deep dive sooner or later in the week. I'm sorry. But there'll be a couple more interviews I think we should listen to that y'all might like here. So Sheldon Rakins after the game via Arrow Wilson.
Obviously extremely talented player. Has been lighting it up this year. As far as yards, touchdowns, all that stuff. He had a couple nice ones today, but overall, we felt confident coming into this game. If we could slow him down and force them into situations where they had to pass when they didn't want to, we would be successful.
Last one, compliment.
Yeah, so that's what we said. Like, force Daniel Jones to pass, force them to 3rd and longs, and they're screwed. Yeah, that's all good. Just trying to look through some stuff here, see what else we got. Tim Settle Jr. after the game via Arrow Wilson.
A good game. How do you feel like you guys did in terms of containing him and not letting him have that breakout run?
I thought they was gonna run the ball a little more. You know, I feel like they were a little conservative, and I feel like they were kind of like leaning on the pass a little bit. But you know, when you got a guy like that, you're expecting him to get the ball a lot. You know, that's on them for not giving him the ball enough. But you know, that's on us for capitalizing when we need to capitalize.
Now on to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I love Tim. He's so honest, bro. And that's true. Like, they should have ran it more. Like, they're pretty much dumb for not giving Jonathan Taylor the ball. I'm like, thank you for not doing that. Here's D'Amico after this is on with Vandermeer and Harris.
Like, he also grew in a sense, so he had some, as I call them, sack saver plays where the defender is on him and he just dirted the ball. Like, he's growing, he's making good decisions, and he's continuing to progress and get better. So I'm excited for where he started, and now looking forward to this next week to see. Felt like he also.
That was D'Amico on Stroud with sack saver plays. Pause. And then Hannah McNair. Let's see what she says.
Starting to pick things up. You were expressing a lot of confidence, and now the momentum's starting to build. How are you feeling about things?
I feel really good today. We've won 4 in a row, 3 of those division games, which is a really big deal. We've got a big one coming up on Sunday, so we're focused on that one. And the best is yet to come, in my opinion.
Best is yet to come. Let's go. I love the confidence. D'Amico with Vandermeer. Again, talking about game plan.
Yeah, that's where we wanted to be. You wanted to create some negative plays on the early downs, get them in 3rd and 7+. That's where they didn't live much. Where they've been successful as an offense, they lived in 3rd and 2 to 5 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're at 3rd and 2 to 5, you have everything at your disposal. You can run the ball, you can do play action, you have everything. So for us, getting them in 3rd and 7+, making them have to drop back, we felt like that would be our advantage in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought our defense did a really nice job on 3rd.
I said this in week 6. Like, hey, you got to play a run defense, put them behind the sticks, make them pass. It's up. I mean, shit. And you say that, like, oh, you're talking shit. Like, no, it's fucking common sense. What the fuck? And all these fucking coaches and players are, yeah, the game plan is to do this, and we did it, and it fucking works. I mean, like, go figure. But, like, Colts fans all year, like, oh, you're talking crap. Like, no, I'm just talking about game plan, dude. Casario, there's a lot of stuff going around this week, a lot of media. You're talking about D'Amico. It's kind of a long one there. It was a decent interview. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff that I thought came from it. And then D'Amico on the run game. This is like my point earlier, sticking with it.
100 yards, you did what needed to be done.
Yeah, it's funny, some of those runs where they got guys running through, like they got linebackers running through, you got possible TFLs. It's easy to say, oh, we got to scrap the run, right, and start just throwing it more. But I like how Kaylee continued to stay with the run. We changed up some of the runs we had, some schematically, like we started to go outside zone a little bit more, started to go more toss plays, trying to get on the perimeter. So even though it doesn't look great on a couple plays, like you still have to stay with it and keep the variety there to keep the defense on their heels. And that's what we did. And we were able to churn out some really good yardage by getting the ball on the perimeter a little bit more. Woody did a great job on a perimeter run of cutting back. So we got Nico a run for his first touchdown, first rushing touchdown. So it was just really cool things of how we mix it up in the run game, getting Chubb in a wildcat formation.
Chubcat.
Him to run. So I just like the variety of things that we're doing.
I agree, bro. I love the shit I'm hearing and seeing, dude. And then D'Amico again. It's just tough for me. I watch these videos, like every comment is like, oh, this is a good point. But I look down after I clipped the thing. I have like 10 clips from one interview. But yeah, D'Amico on the game plan again about Jones being hurt.
Than we would
had before in the season.
Yeah, knowing he wasn't moving as well, so we probably fired a few more pressures than we would normally run. And so we didn't get the sacks per se, but I felt like we got the pressure on to make him speed up his throws, and that's what we wanted him to do: speed up the throws. It worked for us. Our guys were in position; they were making plays on the ball, tackling when we needed to tackle. But and I feel like also it's just when we had some one-on-one opportunities on the early downs in the play action passing game, like we got to be able to win those one-on-ones a little bit better. So it's some improvements to be made on our D line when we have the one-on-one rushes. There are some opportunities where I felt like we could have closed it out a little bit better.
Basically asking, like, explaining how sacks don't tell the whole story. Here's Michael Strahan on the Texans.
Right time. You can win with defense, plain and simple. When you can get after any quarterback, you can force quarterbacks into making mistakes, fumbles. I mean, these guys are just flying all over the field. They have the confidence to just send 4 guys after the rusher. And if you can send 4 guys after the rusher, drop 7, that puts pressure on any offense. So I think that Houston, C.J. Stroud coming back today, stepping in. A lot of people going, should he come back? Should they put him in at the starting role? When you have a defense like that, you can let your quarterback work himself back in. But 22 for 35, 276 yards, no touchdown, but still, I'm pretty impressed about C.J. Stroud.
And in order to be
Strahan showing love, and he knows about a good defense winning a championship, only rushing 4. And we got a lot of love today. We'll go to these. Stephen A, bro, this is crazy. I'm gonna go to the rushing my place one. It's 2 minutes, so I'll be right back.
If anybody can pull it off, it's Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. But I'm not here to say, I can't say they're going to beat the Texans this week. What is it about the Texans? They can send 4. I've seen them send 3 at quarterbacks and get to them. 3. Not even 4. And I'm looking at the Chiefs right now. Trey Smith, offensive line. Trey Smith out. Josh Simmons out. Juwan Taylor out. You got cats that are out. When we see Patrick Mahomes humbled, if not crushed, Super Bowl versus Tampa,
offensive line.
Super Bowl versus Philly, and this year, same problem, offensive line. That seems to be the one thing that Andy Reid is ill-equipped to overcome. It's just that way. And then you're not running the football. You're not even trying to run the football half the time now. Okay, against Houston, this defense, you got Patrick Mahomes back there, and we gonna send folks for you. And Travis Kelce, listen, he hasn't announced it or anything, but we all expect this to be it.
My bad. I'm back. Yeah, I had to pee longer than I thought. I guess it stopped. My bad, fam.
Because Travis Kelce,
hopefully still there. That's hilarious. Yeah, I had the video on my AirPods. Hopefully it wasn't off too long. Let me see here. That's crazy. Was it paused very long or no? Sorry for the podcast listeners.
Listen, he hasn't announced it or anything, but
all right, here we go.
This to be it for him. We expect this to be his last year because Travis Kelce isn't what he used to be. Still damn good. Used to future Hall of Famer, 3-time champion, none but love for him. But Father Time is undefeated. We're not saying he's not good. We're saying he's not what he used to be.
The impact they need him
If there was ever a time when you needed to be what you used to be, it's against this Houston defense. These brothers are something special. I haven't seen a defense in the modern era like this, the way these brothers hunt. And to be in a situation where your offensive line, not 1, not 2, but 3 different dudes out against them, listen, Houston's going to tell me more so than Kansas City. I'm looking at Houston because I have total faith in their defense.
Well, this is another game to stamp this defense yet again. If we are what we are, we should win the game based off that alone. If those 3 linemen are out, we should win this game no matter what else the heck happens. But I love, this is the shit we've been saying, this is a historically great defense. Welcome to the party, fellas.
The question is going to be what C.J. Stroud and that offense is going to be able to give you. Because I believe they got a chance to still take the South. And I believe that Houston is the team to watch in the AFC that comes out of the AFC. That's how I feel about that defense.
Yeah, it's not if they get in the playoffs. Why won't we get in the playoffs? All right, so Dominique Foxworth on the Texans.
Would have a 12% chance of making the playoffs. Meek, what is your reaction to that percentage?
I believe that the Houston Texans are going to extinguish the Chiefs' playoff chances this season. The Chiefs have been up and down all season long. The Texans' defense is incredible. Patrick Mahomes hasn't been the same version of him that we all remember, and I think it's hard for us to let it go. I know. I hold on to the belief in Patrick Mahomes all the time. But when you watch the way their offense performs, And then you look at that damn Texas defense. Oh, my God. It's hard for me to imagine Patrick Mahomes being comfortable at all in that situation. There is no weakness on that defense. There's nowhere to attack. It's going to be a tough game for them, and especially if they have Stroud back. The offensive line isn't great, but they've been slightly better as of late. The Texans, that is. If they can score enough points, I think that they'll knock the Chiefs
The
off.
most chilling thing about looking at the playoff picture or the standings right now is that the Chiefs aren't in 7th or 8th in the AFC. They're 10th in the AFC.
Yeah.
I mean, only 5 teams are worse than them in the AFC playoff picture right now. I would add this. I was in the building when Logan Ryan intercepted a Tom Brady pass, took it in for a touchdown, and it was like, wait a second, the Patriots just lose to the Titans in the wild card? Is this really happening? Are they really out of the playoffs? That was in 2019. Will Anderson sacking Patrick Mahomes on a Sunday night on national television in early December, and you're like, time has run out. Like it might be over for the Chiefs this season, and it might happen in early December.
Anything came out?
So last offseason, I was making the comparison that, this last year could have been the 2012 Seattle Seahawks, because this is when winning with an elite defense on a quarterback's rookie deal became in vogue. And to me, it was the same as you got, your rookie quarterback, second year, you got an elite defense. I've thought they're up to that level with the Legion of Boom personally, even last year, potentially. And then obviously it didn't work out, but that may be this year now. And you look at the year that they won, they started choppy. They were basically around 500 like we were. And then they just finished the season. We're potentially starting that same shit, bro. Is this year could be the 2012 Seattle Seahawks. Instead, it's just Stroud in his third year instead of second year like Russell Wilson. I mean, I can see it, bro. It's a very similar recipe, honestly. But yeah, see, man, I've been saying this stuff. I had to find my clip with DJ.
The floor for the defense is top 10. I think the ceiling is 1.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think this defense might be incredible.
And what do you think about this? I've been saying I think they have a chance to be historically great if they stay healthy. I'm tripping? Okay. All right.
Historically great, yeah.
I don't know, man. But part of my take is it requires the offense to be competent for that to happen, because you look at games like the Lions last year, 5 picks.
Exactly. Historically great defense don't need the offense. The Broncos.
That's fair. You can't talk me out of it, DJ. Here we are. I was texting him about it. He's like, yeah, I mean, I agree. They could be historically great. So I've been saying it, and I don't believe in jinxes, but hopefully I don't jinx it. But we got our top spot back, 198 total points, the fewest in the league from the Rams. They're now 210. And so ESPN, Matt Bowen has an article where he does 109 different players at the best different skills. We had Will Anderson Jr. is the best speed to power. Anderson can bend and flatten using counter moves to disengage from blockers, but he also can win with speed to power, collapsing the edges of the pocket. His 10.5 sacks are the 5th most in the NFL, and his 23.5% pass rush win rate ranks 3rd. Best spin move, Danielle Hunter. Hunter has a slippery spin move off the edge that leaves offensive tackles grabbing at air. He can also use the threat of his spin move to set up an outside rush path. His 11 sacks rank 4th in the NFL. Best hitter, Azeez Al-Shaair. Let's fucking go. Al-Shaair looks to take the ball carrier's soul every time he makes contact. He has thunder in his pads. Hell yeah. That will trigger a lot of people right there. Best backfield vision, Derek Stingley Jr. Stingley uses his backfield vision to overlap seam balls, plus he will get in the weeds looking for work. He has 3 interceptions and 8 pass breakups this season. Best third level range, Kalen Bullock. Bullock glides to the third level of the defense with post range and ball skills, and he can cover ground from depth. Bullock's 4 interceptions are tied for 4th most in the NFL. And then best field goal blocker, Danico Autry. Autry has blocked a league best 2 field goal attempts this season, creating an interior push to slip through gaps and get his hands up. All right, we are almost through there. We're getting hated on. This is a good sign. Only one person picked us in the game previews, and B. Brooks. The rest all took the Chiefs. We will take that. And let's see. Here's CJ Stroud with TMZ Sports talking about his foundation and his family and his father.
A lot, she's spoke life into people, and I think just her heart and compassion for others has been amazing. So, man, it's a blessing. My brother actually works with it as well, and my sister.
Oh, good.
So it's very family oriented, and also, my dad's actually incarcerated, but hopefully he'll be coming home soon. And he'll be a part of it as well. So it's very family oriented, and I'm just very grateful to have everybody in my family to be able to be a part of it. Because in his situation, he's been in jail for about 10 years now. So he's seen people come in, come out, and he just has a heart for people like me and my mom do as well. And so he has a lot of ideas on giving to people in the halfway homes. And he's probably like my best friend, like other than my mom and some of my other best friends. But yeah, me and my dad are very, very close. But yeah, he doesn't just want to do that. He has other things in mind. But yeah, I think having it family oriented is dope because that's how it started off. You know what I mean? So I think in his perspective, being formerly incarcerated, he'll have a whole different branch that we can go down to help people because that's our goal. So my mom has things that she's been influenced by. I have things. My dad, I have his things. My brothers and sisters do. So I just think it's dope that you can find different ways to impact people.
That's pretty cool, man. That's cool to hear him say that. And then Henry Jack said, should the Rockets sign Giannis to play KD with Houston? I don't know, man. I think I like it how it is now. You'd have to give up too much for him. But who knows? Let's see if I missed any other comments on here. St. Louis Rebel, what are we going to do opposite of Kalen Bullock? I'm scared Patrick Mahomes will expose that. It'll probably be Miles Bryant and Jalen Mills. And yeah, he'll definitely be looking to pick on that. You could see, I could see them for this game potentially putting Jalen Petrie in the high post at the strong safety and running more 4-3. Who knows? D'Amico could get creative. And then JJ Sugar, I wish they would take MJD off those prediction panels. Doesn't have any. Yep, I agree. He says he always picks against the Texans too. TJ Stroud had a great press conference today. Here's him on Patrick Mahomes.
It's always cool to go play in KC, against, that team who's, been really great for the last couple of years. I've been a fan of, Pat for a long time. And just, he's a heck of a player. And it's just really cool, being about 5 years ago, I was in high school, watching, and then, now you're competing against those guys. So, but yeah, I don't really think we have that. I don't really know him too well, but I think, he's a heck of a player. And anytime you get to share a field, some legendary guys, and you just try to gain their respect and, move from there.
Dope. Yeah, we're going late tonight, boys. Appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. We'll be done soon. And then Aaron Wilson had asked CJ Stroud about Chris Jones, who evidently his nickname is Stone Cold, but this is hilarious.
What are some of the things you see from Karlaftis and also Stone Cold have a follow-up?
Who?
What do you see from Karlaftis and Stone Cold Jones?
I didn't know that's what people call him. That's what people call him? Oh, cool. Yeah, he's a heck of a player, man. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer guy.
Mike Jones.
He's really good. Karlaftis, somebody I played against in college, played against last year. Really good game against last year. So, we got to be, really good up front. We know that every game, the better we establish the line of scrimmage, the better, we play as an offense. So, it'll be good for us.
That shit cracks me up. Who? Yeah, what else we got here? Here's Stroud earlier talking about running. I did not like this.
I think, that springs, our guys to get more yards and, it makes our run game even more efficient. So
he's talking about the wide receivers blocking in the run game.
I think it's dope, and I love to be a part of that. And maybe one day I'll be out there blocking too. But Davis got a block against Buffalo, which I thought was good.
Because maybe I'll get a block and Davis had a block. No, slow down, man. Let's just stay healthy. So, did the Texans alter their That's weird. They must have altered their injury report today. And then let's see here. Yeah, there's concerns about Kamari and Woody and Will. Here's D'Amico and asked about it.
An update on Kamari Lassiter and also on Woody Marks.
Yeah, Kamari, Woody, Will, they'll all be fine. We'll see how the week goes.
They'll be fine. And then here is Peter Schrager on the Texans again.
Sat in this chair before they played Indianapolis, and everyone was saying the Colts were the best team. I said, I wouldn't bet against the Chiefs in late November against the Indianapolis Colts and Arrowhead. I don't feel that way against the Texans. The Texans defense is legit. Texans defense travels, and the Texans do have some playoff history. They've been there the last couple of years. They're not some neophyte team just walking into Arrowhead with the stars. They're like too bright. I feel like Sunday night the Texans can handle the Chiefs.
They should, but they still have to walk into Arrowhead.
Let's get it. And then Rich Eisen on the Texans
I'm putting the Texans
has him
on this
10th
list for
in
the
his
first
top
time
10.
maybe all year, if not forever. Probably all year. Because they started 0-3. This defense is no joke. And you heard Kurt Warner say in hour number 1, hey, C.J. Stroud played his best game of the year. Okay, let's go. And they're going into Kansas City, and this would be a prove them and everyone else right game. They've won 4 in a row. They are having momentum, and that defense is scary. I'm putting the 49ers at 9.
All right. D'Amico Ryan's on Patrick Mahomes.
He's call him Houdini. He finds a way to make plays all over the field. That's why this team has always been a threat. That's why their games are always close, because of Patrick and his capabilities of extending plays, and not just to run plays, not to run the football, but the way he extends plays, the way he finds his guys down the field. It's unique, right? There's not many guys in the league.
It's talking about Houdini. We can get into that later. This one we need to listen to. Dan Orlowski on the Texans.
They are on this 4-game win streak. What's changed for their offense specifically?
It's the most improved offensive line in football, and it's the most improved offensive coordinator in football. Shout out to Nick Caley, his growth this season. We've talked for years, about 2 years, about how bad this offensive line has been in Houston and the impact on the quarterback. It looked like 2023 C.J. Stroud. The firmness in the middle of the pocket allows for what I would say one of his strengths is that react and reset, react and reset, react and reset. Ball over the middle of the field. Shotgun once again. Goes to the bottom, wants to throw the out route, not there. How firm is the pocket for him? Firm enough where he can hang. Now
Oh, he never stays in the pocket. He never stays in the pocket. What are we talking about, man?
For conversion. This was my favorite play. My favorite play of the game. This is vintage C.J. Stroud. Ball fake. I want to throw the in route right now at the bottom of the screen. It's not there. Middle linebacker's there. Reset to the top, but I got to have the pocket to do it. And then throw the ball.
Never stays in the pocket. Get the fuck out of here. Come on,
man.
man.
That is 2023.
This
offensive line was terrible last year. Look at the number difference, okay? At this point last year, 104 pressures and 164 pressures, 25 sacks. Right now, 106 pressures, so a little bit more than 50 less, 14 sacks. That's 11 less. That is huge by that center guard, that guard center guard trio. Totally has changed. It's the most improved offensive line in football, and it's the most improved and developed offensive coordinator in the game right now. Wow.
I agree. They started.
I think there's still time. They talk about moving Jalen Mills up. I think there's still time. I think they used the 3 practice squad elevations. And then we did sign Amir Speed to the 53 man, and we also signed Solomon Byrd back. And we had cut Laken Tomlinson, RIP, Laken Tomlinson as a Texan, but it sounded like it was a Cam Robinson situation in the sense that it was like a mutually agreed upon thing. But I mean, he got beat out, so he was just a depth piece, not like a very solid one at that. So, yeah, no, I mean, he literally, those plays, he was literally just standing in the pocket under pressure, guys about to hit him in the face and throwing dots. Like, what are we doing, dude? I mean, the times, you know, he has had moments, but like in that game, like when he does get pressured, it's because when he does leave, it's because he gets freaking pressured. He's a stud. Oh, we made it to the top. But there's more. You know, I started 30 minutes late. We've gone pretty long, 2:30, but I'm gonna rip off these little notes from NFL Pro. C.J. Stroud, first game back after concussion, 22 of 35, 276, 1 INT. He excelled on shorter throws, completing 16 of 19 for 162 on attempts under 10 air yards. less efficient downfield, connecting on 6 of 14, 114 interception. There was, I thought Nico had a tough time tracking the ball in that stadium. This one here, this deep left one, was kind of like a just chunk it up play. And Nico usually makes that play, and he underread the ball. It went over his head, and CJ Stroud had thrown it late. And there was a corner late that could have maybe been a contested catch chance. Never saw it in the corner end zone. So, yeah, we didn't really take that many shots deep. And when we did, it wasn't great. I don't know if that was because he wasn't accurate. So, oh, you're in the air. Oh, that's dope. Where are you flying to, bro? You're good, bro. I got one you got one in the air. Okay, gotcha. That's dope, man. I appreciate that's literally dope. I appreciate it. Alec Pierce became the first player in Colts history with the pass defense. Oh, yeah. And a receiving touchdown in the same game since passes defense were tracked since 1999. Yeah, he had that. He went in on the Hail Mary before the end of half. Did I read the Nico Collins? Nico Collins caught 5 receptions on 10 targets for 98 yards, with 4 receptions for 69 yards coming on in-breaking routes. Against cornerback Charvarius Ward, Collins caught 3 receptions for 72 yards. Collins also added his first career rushing touchdown on an end around. Yes, I mean, he did. It wasn't all on Charvarius, so he made it sound like he shouted him the whole game. I need to check the film, but I think it's kind of like, when they did go man, he covered him. When it was zone, he didn't, type of thing. Texans 7-5 have won 4 straight games within a season for the first time since 2018. Houston won 9 straight games in weeks 4 through 13. 2018 finished 11-5, lost in the wild card game. The Texans are looking to become the first franchise in NFL history to make the playoffs in multiple seasons in which they started 0-3, also 2018. Let's do it. The Colts have lost back-to-back games for the first time in 2025 and have lost 3 of their last 4 games overall. Ruh-roh. Indianapolis was held to fewer than 20 points for the first time this season in Week 13 versus Houston. The Colts have been held to fewer than 300 total yards for the second straight game, a significant departure from their previous offensive production when they recorded 300-plus total yards in each of their first 10 games. Maybe the opponents matter, You played the Chiefs and the Texans, 2 good defenses, and what happened? That's all I'm trying to say. Texans are now 13-4, 0.765 win percentage in divisional games since 2023. The best record in the NFL. That is nuts. Coach DeMeco Ryans has the best one-loss record by a head coach in divisional games in the NFL history, minimum 15 games. John Madden is next on the list. Houston is 4-1 against the AFC South in 2025, with the only loss coming in Week 3 at Jacksonville. That's crazy, and that loss should have been a win. And then you blew that loss against the Titans. That's at least 2 of his 4 probably should have been wins. So the dude is a good head coach. But yeah, so I didn't quite get into all of the Chiefs stuff. Like, on here, they probably got some stuff for the Chiefs. Let me see. But maybe we can get into it later this week. They probably got some insights. I haven't looked yet. Oh, they got a bunch. I mean, we can get into all that shit right here. We can get into the stats. We can get into PFF. I'll try and do it. There's just so much stuff. But love the Texans. Love you guys. As always, follow me on everything. Shout out Methan Weber. Tell me how to pronounce your name. I know you've told me before. I feel terrible, but I love interacting with you. I'm assuming it's like Ethan, but with the M, Methan, or is it, and then Weaver, Methan Weaver. Tell me if that's right or wrong. Colts look vulnerable. I hope they pull out the dub against Jacksonville Sunday. Yes, I agree with that. M. Ethan, is it Weber or Weber? M. Ethan Weber. M. Ethan. M. Ethan. I'm struggling here. Sorry, guys. It's getting late, too. I'm tired. But I appreciate you, bro. We have a lot of good combos on IG. And then Bill A says, damn, that's an insane stat. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Weber. Okay, so it's M. Ethan Weber. Is that correct? I'll wait till you acknowledge that, and then we can end the show. But as always, follow me on everything. Texans commenter, Houston Stressan's website, HoustonStressans.com. I put videos on there too. Like all the videos I watch, I embed them onto my site. Merch, everything on there. But yeah, appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next time. Until then, we blessing.